From the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the South and Band. Charges on the beat.
For the spoon to get your information. For the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia.
Monrovia,
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa.
Africa.
Just to spoon you ain't know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat Cape Town, gradually, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon.
Okay, so Tune to Spoon, indeed, if you're in Cape Town, you're in Magibby, you're in Maryland, you're in Sino, you're in River G County, you're in River Says, just Tune to Spoon. This is Liberia's premier news network. This is where you get authentic information about the happenings across Liberia. I'd like to say welcome. Thanks to all of you across the world for joining us tonight on this edition of the program Spoon Talk. Spoon Talk is back on the radio. I'd like to welcome everyone. I'm Nelson Colette. Let me go across and bring in Dr. Richardson. And I see Mr. Dwalu is here as well. Dr. Richardson, hello, welcome, Mr. Dwalu.
Nelson, hallelujah, hello today, and Liberians who are listening, hello. I want to just say, Nelson and the rest of the Spoon family in Liberia, and we the panelists, we are coming to you with heavy heart today on the news of children, Mali Kazulu, who worked with Spoon TV in the past, Spoon Network in the past. We say Namaya to you guys and also to his family. I just remember him during the Cummings trial. I remember I saw so much potential in the young man. So we just say sorry to you guys. I think Nelson and I exchanged messages. It was late last night when I saw your page. So we're very sorry, and I'm sure Madam Titi will have more to say, but I just wanted to get that off my chest and to continue to keep his memory in our minds. So I just wanted to say that.
Yes, indeed, Dr. Richardson is with a very heavy heart. He was a team player, a very professional workmate of ours. I personally share a platform with him. My debut, appearance into radio talk show as far back as 2016, 2017.
Wow.
We did the morning show. We were teammates on the morning show many days, and yeah, so yeah, it came as a shock to a lot of us. I was just closing the program last evening when I kept receiving calls, and then later I was hit with the news. We had to rush to the hospital at about 12 a.m. And it was true. He was just on the radio a couple of days ago, about 3 days ago. Yeah, it's yeah.
It's so sorry, man. Sorry to all of you.
Yeah, Nelson. I mean, to our people back home, you're sorry. I would say this. Look, let me tell you something. Every time a young, productive Liberian is lost, Liberia gets a little weaker. We just got made a little weaker as a society. When you hear Dwello screaming like his head is on fire to protect the young people in the country, the young men and women that could uplift this country, this is what I mean. Because when we lose one of us in our most productive years, Liberia gets a little weaker. And for this moment, we've gotten a little weaker. Let's continue to push so we can protect us because there's no other way when you lose your life. So, me, I don't let her talk about those things because sometimes I believe our society has to do better. So, these kind of sometimes things happen and we just move forward with it. That's all we gotta say, Dusty.
Yeah.
Certainly. Certainly.
Yeah. I always like to believe you have one life to live. You never know when your time is. And this is why Dwalu and I and a lot of the panelists, this is why we come here to talk because we are behind the curveball in Liberia. And this is why I think it makes us a little weaker
Yeah.
when we lose a young potential like Kazulu. And because of the rate that we should be nurturing and mentoring our young people, I don't see it. I'm not feeling that fire. So, my heart goes out to his family. And again, like I will live with the memory of how well he did as a journalist. I remember those times when Liberia thought we were playing politics at the courthouse, involving Mr. Cummings, and I believe it was you, Nelson. It was you and him there. Um, that I saw him. I saw his work. Yeah. So to keep doing, we have to keep doing what we're doing. Tomorrow is not promised to anybody. That's
No,
all I can say.
it's never promised.
Yeah.
Nelson, let's recognize some people here so our people are coming on board. Vivian Brunel, welcome to the show wherever you are from Congo Town, right? Lovely family. I'm watching from Congo Town. Welcome to the show. I see James Buku. How are you doing? My brother from Baptist Seminary. Welcome to the show. I see D Twerk. Good afternoon, Spoon family. I see Honorable Cooper pass away. He is following. I see my girl Carolyn Wooler. How you doing, Mama? How's everything? Whatever you are. I believe you're in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. I see David Akwala. What's going on for Oslo, Norway? How are you doing out there in the Scandinavian heartland? How you doing? I see Mary Findayima. How you doing, Mama? How's everything? I see Virtue that way by Siako. Hello, how are you doing, Mr. Siako? Miss Siako. I see Gamen Kesley. Miata Dennis, Winfred T. Dubber, on Zigo Carpet. How are you doing? I see Bandi Governor. What's going on, Bandi Governor? I see Nelson D. Man. He's watching from Iowa. How's everything? I see Prince Sherman. Mr. Sherman, welcome to the show. Phillips Boakai. He's watching from Foya, Lofa County. How's Foya doing out there, my brother? I see Christina G. Massive. How's everything? Wherever you're watching from, good evening, my beautiful family. I'm watching from 72nd Morovia, and that's Jenny Chuku Sako. How you doing, madam? I see Jenna. Jenna, how are you doing? I see Yuma Washington, watching out of Minnesota, the higher looking. I say out there to you guys. I see Sekou Talata Mohammed Sharif. What's going on, my brother? Um, I see Lasani Masakwe Broville out there in Liberia. I see Elder Philip W. Barron. Josiah Jr., yes, he's watching from Supermarket Morovia, Gunnersville. All across the country, man. You're welcome. You're here the show. It is about Liberia. It has to always be about Liberia. This country will not elevate itself. We, as a people, have to elevate this country and continue to push because Liberia got to be better than we met it for our children's sake, for all of posterity's sake. It has to be better. Dr. Francine.
Yes, Dwalu. A lot of things are happening in the world today that we have to sort of talk about. First of all, something historical happened in the United States. I know this show is definitely primarily here to speak about Liberia, but the impact of what is happening in the United States will definitely affect us in Liberia. So, last night, yesterday was kind of like a relaxing day for Abraham and I.
Yeah.
And so I was surprised when I kind of put on, like, was scrolling down my social media, and then I heard Biden drop out of the race. And I told him, I said, hon, wait a minute, put the TV on.
Put the TV
I don't,
on.
what's going on in the world? And so he we usually don't believe social media at first.
Yep.
That's not the thing to do. So
Yeah.
he put the TV on, and he put it on CNN, he put it on MSNBC, he put it on Fox News, and all of them were carrying the same headline. He said, this must be true.
Yeah.
Biden dropped out of the race, my people, Liberians. I hope you're listening to us.
And it was a great thing to do. Actually, I was relaxing in the chair. My daughter comes running down. Daddy, look at this. Look at this. I'm like, see, what's that? She said, Daddy, look. And she was so excited to let you know Kamala Harris personally. I was saying, listen, man, she has a lot of work to do. Oh, Daddy, we got to donate to her. I'm like, forget. What is that way?
$50 million later.
I'm telling you.
$50 million later. People.
It's a great news. Let me give Trump five money. I think Biden did the right thing. A lot of people were a little bit hesitant to continue with him, but there's a lot of work to be done, and I'm pretty sure Kamala Harris is fully aware of this. It's a lot of work ahead of her, but I'm sure she's called out for it. Former Attorney General of the state of California, former senator of this great country. A woman is well seasoned. She knows what she's doing. Yeah, she's well seasoned.
And Dwalum, as I think about her, I try to put. I'm big on qualification. I'm big on to what extent can you do the job. But this time around, I'm not even focusing on her qualification. I'm focusing on my 4 culturally diverse daughters.
Hey, my God.
Daughters of
Get to the choir.
immigrant mothers. Okay, the daughters of immigrant mothers and fathers. My grandson, who is different. Okay, and that's what I'm thinking about. I was tormented over the past 4 years under Trump's leadership because I kept on hearing they're coming to take our jobs. They are killers. They are criminal. It was just it's not good. That energy is not good for you.
Yeah, it's not good for the country. But I just hope this fight it remains about America. The focus is a focus on America. Look, let's take away all this division, this kind of politics. Make your case before the people, because nobody going anywhere. America for all our equal share. I'll let go at the end of the day. But Dr. Francine, if you allow me, let me cover this topic because it's a great segue.
Yes.
Yeah,
actually, please do. I'm actually going to leave you because I'm going to class. I'm glad that you're here. I'll be listening. So thank you, Liberians. I'm going to class right now. So I will take it over.
Good teaching. Good teaching.
Thank
Our
you.
people, Nelson, as people still come and see Jerry Grease, Mr. Grease was going to Marjorie. Fuller, how you doing, Mama? How's everything? Whatever you are. Lenny, you come and join us. We're looking forward to seeing you. Emmanuel Tia, how are you doing? Yes, 81 million in 24 hours. This is a huge, huge money being raised. Lasana Dodo, Liberian, listen. The day Dwalo decides to run for president of our great country, he will raise some money for me too, so we can make sure we create a society that we can all be proud of. I see Thomas Karma, Lasana Dodo. Look, I want to speak to Liberians today on a topic: the contrast between excellence and mediocrity. Excellence or meritocracy and mediocrity. Let's contrast the two today. And a lot of times when I listen to Liberians, they will say, for example, you try the man too. That a man not supposed to go there. That while qualification we eat, you try the man too. I want you to understand the distinction between mediocrity and excellence. Excellence involves commitment. Commitment to a higher ideal. Commitment to getting results. Commitment to character, to good character. Commitment to community, commitment to your fellow compatriots in the country. Excellence requires a whole lot more. Mediocrity gives the bare minimum. It does not aspire to anything that is greater than it. Mediocrity only cares about oneself. There is no character in mediocrity. In fact, I personally believe it takes a whole lot more to maintain mediocrity than to pursue excellence. Excellence is mobility, it's upward movement. Mediocrity is kind of stagnant. It stifles the society. Do you know why, for example, Elvin Snow went to the legislature before he went to college? because he was mediocre. Do you know why most of your representatives and senators, before they can enter LU, they have to go to college? Because their entire lives they've been mediocre. When you elect mediocre people to govern you, they don't aspire to something that is far bigger or something that is greater than themselves because they've been mediocre their entire lives. You sat in class with some people, they say, my man, I got my 70, 70 that pass in grade 2. Yes, it's true. 70 you pass. But do you want this person to be making decisions for the entirety of the country? Somebody who just settles for 70. I'm not saying if you did everything you're supposed to do and you got a 70, that is not sufficient. But when you don't give everything, when you settle for the bare minimum, and then you want to come to the governmental space with the expectation that you can produce at a higher level, it's not likely. It's not likely because your entire being has never been focused on the issue of excellence. Okay, let me tell you what excellence seeks. Excellence seeks glory. And that glory is not for the individual who seeks that excellence. That glory is for his entire community, it's for his entire people, it's for beyond himself, it's for all of posterity, because excellence continues to look into the future. Mediocrity looks in the past and is stagnant. It ensures a society is stuck in one place. This is what mediocrity does to a society. But this is what excellence does. Excellence recognizes that you are not going to be here for a long time. Excellence understands that in order to reduce the accidents on Robert Field Highway, the roads have to have decent shoulders. There has to be proper letting because excellence doesn't just look to oneself. Excellence looks far beyond oneself and extends that to people after him. Excellence is the kind of person when you have a lot of people in your house and the Oma only cook 2 cups of rice and you are the oldest, you don't eat 50% when you got 4 other people have to eat. You have to consider that there are people coming after you because you cannot be the only person strongest in the house. Mediocrity always attacks excellence. There's a reason why that man want Allah in no bull. Nelson won't be looking up dictionary to pronounce the word properly. He want Allah in no more. Excellence is always attacked by mediocrity because mediocrity feels small about themselves. Whenever you hear somebody say they may want out of here no more, their inferiority complex has already said to you that they are feeling small about themselves. Mediocrity has no confidence. Mediocrity aspires to nothing bigger than itself. In Liberia, we take the least prepared, people without the proper pedigree, and we put them in places that it should not be. And then we want the results of excellence. It doesn't work that way. You cannot employ a mediocre bunch and then you want the results of excellence. When I keep asking you to continue to pursue the best and brightest of Liberians and put them in the proper places so we can govern this country properly, I'm asking for the pursuit of excellence. Because excellence, guess what excellence does? Excellence brings results. Excellence promotes better policy decisions across the country. Excellence insists on LU students not buying grades because it's not about a grade, it's about formulating a citizen that thinks critically. Excellence asks for decisions that yields results. Mediocrity only cares about oneself. Mediocrity builds a massive mansion in the midst of extreme poverty, fences that mansion, uses government gas and government generators and runs his facility 24/7, and he believes he's a bigger man. A mediocre mind is a mind that is stuck in his childhood. A mediocre mind has not fully developed. A mediocre mind may be a full-grown man or full-grown woman, but they have not developed because they think in terms of immediacy. Excellence is forward-looking. Excellence, subscribe to this proverb. A journey of 1,000 miles, as the Chinese would say, begin with one step. Excellence understands this. So excellence prepares itself continuously. Excellence does not burden the society. Excellence recognizes that in order for you to grow as an individual, you must bring along the rest of your population, especially if you hold a statutory position that should be yielding result in that society. Excellence recognizes this. And in order for us to grow as a society, we must seek people that seek excellence. When you are seeking excellence, you read more. As you read more, your mind expands because you see a whole lot more. You understand the solutions to problem, and I just want one angle. You can use different angles to get to that solution. So when something is stagnated in this position, you can reroute that position because you're seeking excellence. You're reading more. You're targeting more solution for your society. Liberians, I want to tell you this today. The characteristics of excellence are high quality. They are skillful rather. There are distinction. You want to set yourself apart. By setting yourself apart, you want to give your society more, not necessarily to you, but here's the big, beautiful part. The more you give your society, the more you're giving to yourself. If I gave my society a quality high school in Zwedru, a quality public high school in Zwedru, guess what? Zwedru, Grand Gita County is going to put a quality nurses that when I get sick and I go to the hospital, the nurses are well versed in understanding my illness so they can heal me better. They can nurture me back to health. This is what excellence does. Mediocrity thinks about buying a plane ticket and going to another man's country. This is what mediocre minds think because they believe I will just take care of me and my children. Take care of you and your children in the private sector. But when you come to my government, yes, my government, I want you to use my money for the elevation of my people. This is what excellence seeks. Our leaders, young people in the country, you must demand excellence from your leaders. If you are not demanding excellence from your leader, they're going to give you mediocre results, and those results are not going to trickle down to you. Other countries are developing because they are seeking excellence. They are holding their officials to the highest standards because if you don't do that, my people, let me tell you something. Mediocre people have no purpose. Their only purpose is to amass wealth that benefits them. They don't care about the zogarization of our country. They don't care about the massive prostitution that's literally on every corner in our society. They don't care about the joblessness of our society. They don't care about anything that promotes that society. This is what they do care about. How we eat my own. Last week, I asked you guys a question about your mortality. About your mortality. Sometimes when you're stealing from your people, do you really think and say, am I doing the right thing? When I'm about to die, when I'm laying on my deathbed, have I done the right thing by my people? I will leave you with the 3 wishes of Alexander the Great today. When he was about to die, this is the true story. The physicians were sitting by his bedside and they told him, he was literally a king, arguably the greatest general that ever lived. He said, gentlemen, when I die, I want you to do 3 things. And I want my officials in government to listen. He said, when I die, I want you to do 3 things. First, I want the surgeons, the medical personnel to carry my body to the gravesite. That's the first thing. My first wish from you. Number 2, I want you to take all the wealth, everything that I've amassed. I've gone and conquered foreign lands. Take everything I've stolen from them, everything I've amassed in my life. I want you to line them on the roll so people can see all the wealth that I've acquired. And then I want you, number 3, I want you to take my 2 hands and put it outside my casket. Yeah, it'd be that they're empty. The point I'm trying to make, and Alexander was making, say, empty I came into this world, empty I shall leave. Everything I've acquired is all vanity, as long as it does not help my people. But I'm going to put a caveat to Alexander's greatness, 3 witches. I'm going to tell him this. If you want to extend your mortality, if you want to live far beyond yourself, you must extend what you have done to your people, because the continuation of your life extends to your people. If you can change the lives of your people, you will never die. Let me repeat. If you can change the lives of your people, you will never die. We still talk about the Marcus Aurelius of the world. We still talk about the great leaders and Martin Luther Kings and Nelson Mandela. They will be spoken about for the next 1,000 years because they live a life of excellence. They live a life catering to their people. I want my people to understand this. I'm not suggesting that you do not try to acquire something in this life, but you do not acquire anything at the expense of your people. While babies are dying in the hospital, the so-called these dungeons that are masquerading as hospitals in Liberia, and yet and still nothing is there. I want our leaders to pursue excellence because excellence is not selfish. Excellence is forward-looking. Stop being mediocre. And people in Liberia, stop electing mediocre people. A man must set himself apart. A woman must set herself apart in a substantial way before you bring that person to become your leader. When the person does that, you know that person has pursued excellence, and excellence get results. Let's get results for once again. You're welcome to the show, Nelson, as always.
Well, thank you again, as always, Mr. Dwalu, for the the usual food for thought for our people, and always giving us a reason to think beyond, to look beyond, to go beyond where we are as a country. Um, set the right examples and everything for the future generation. I think at this point we will take some calls now. I see some of the folks are trying to call in 0555 and we have the WhatsApp line. I'm going to pull up very shortly. But 0555 we want you to call in and talk about those issues that are of concern to you. What is it you want to talk about? What's on your mind? Is it about health, education, sanitation? Is it about the government, political issues, economic situations? Just whatever. So the stage is yours. Let me take the first person here. Hello? Hello? Okay, so we will go back and talk to another person. Hello?
Good evening.
Yeah, hello, you're live. Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Jiwo.
No, can you lower the volume of your radio, please?
I'm calling it up, my son.
Okay.
I call it up completely.
Okay, my dear, go ahead. You're live on the radio.
Yeah, my dear. Thank you. You're doing well. I want to tell my Richardson hello. I want to tell Stepdad hello. I want to tell all your hello. I want to say you're sorry for our good son that has. I always said this. We all can walk up. And when that time comes, we'll go one by one. So I want to tell the family, let them take heart. It is not lost. You will go to heaven. What resting on my mind as Diwo? God's presence going down. And our God was carrying their presence up. I don't know why.
You mean a transport fare? Oh, too bad we lost her. Let's take this person. Hello? You're live?
Hello?
Yeah, you're live. Let's
Yeah,
hear
okay.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Brown from the United States.
What's on your mind, sir?
Yeah, what my mind, I have two concerns. One
Okay.
is Stanton. Yeah, or why Stanton continue or accept Kev Hassan on the show? Is that right? The man is not good to be on the show. That's my concern.
Thank you.
Kev Hassan not good to be on the show, yes. And number two, or you can choose to answer. Why are the lessons done that they put a lot of money around? You can choose to answer, not to answer.
Thank you very much. Let's take another person. Hello? Your name and where you calling from? Please go ahead. You're live on the show. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Oliver Layton. I'm calling from the US of A.
Oliver, go ahead. What's on your mind?
I want to say a big thank you to the Spoon family, and then I want us for you guys to connect talk to Yeke, because we're hearing a lot of things in the air that Yeke is using Spoon and saying a lot of things that the CEO is connect.
Yeah, so
promoting the president.
yeah, so thank you very much for your input, sir. Thank you. Let's talk to another person. Hello, your name and where you call from?
Hello, Nixon. How are you?
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Maurice Coman. I'm calling for Texas.
Go ahead. Let's hear you. What's on your mind?
Yeah. We have problem with our God. Kev, we get problem with Kev. You know, Kev destroyed our show before. So you're always having in order. You get anything to say, or rather to force the president. And because he's not receiving 25,000 again every month, so you know he's frustrated. So you're not keeping on our show, man.
Thank you.
That place, so I play you.
Thank you very much for your input. Let's go to the line and take this person. Hello, your name and where you calling from? Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Nancy. This is Zoe Mango calling from Maryland, USA.
Okay, please go ahead. Let's hear you.
First of all, let me extend my sympathy to the Spoon family, and you guys do very well. Yeah, one of our brothers passed is very
Yeah. Too bad. Something is not right with your line. So let's go back to the local lines and take more calls. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Nelson.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you. You're live.
Okay, I'm Mulan Bani. I call you from Graceland.
Okay.
I give you contact.
What's on your mind? Let's hear you.
My mind, what's really on my mind is not a politics thing, but I beg you to listen to me, no comment off. I'm appealing to you and the Spoon FM family to see how best I think to our resident center, even the executive branch,
Mm-hmm.
to go into that the old folks from at least 65 years up
Mm-hmm.
should be benefited to get lip package at least at the end of the month to sustain themselves.
Okay.
Because not every old folks have, a child that is, what they do table and all this stuff. Remember, they have made many sacrifices this country and today where they are now. At least people butcher this all at least government should think. And I thought they should think how best on the old place. This is what on my mind.
Thank you very much. That's a great concern. Calling on the lawmakers. I remember there was a bill of such that was introduced by the district lawmaker of District 11, Representative Richard Kuhn, called the Old Folks Bill. Yeah, it was introduced some time ago. But the status of that bill right now is what is very important. But that's a great one. Thank you very much for that concern. Thanks a lot. Okay, so hello, you're live. Let's hear you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Seku for money calling from Taji.
Yes, Seku, what's on your mind?
Maybe I want to be the CEO. Mr. CEO, you told Liberian people you say they never for us, but you fully or for you enough for us, even for all you listen to us. We told you say we don't want care for son. You try to be careful. You can be all for the all people leave. Because I think you want to do a good to other people. Because they came and said, man, they go to their cozy argument. What happened to the argument? They told you the cozy all the argument. Why they can't go there? Someone on the you have no to say this, they don't work for us. Don't be careful. Listen to us.
Thank
you. If you can do that, definitely the show is for you and not for us.
Thank you.
Even the game posted on Facebook, Kev one come back, but see the comment that
on the WhatsApp, please hold.
See the board that say they don't want Kev. Then you say try to be a member. If you like it, you can be all for there. Then you are that only that the agency said by you.
Thank you.
So go out, then you want to be there, then you like to.
Thank you very much. Let's hear this person. Hello, you're live. Let's hear you.
Hello, Nelson. How are you?
Yes, sir. We're okay.
My name is Vel, and I'm calling you from Canada.
What's on your mind?
And I just wanted to speak to same thing that a few callers before me spoke about. I wanted to talk about setting precedents. This is a platform that a lot of people respect around the world. A lot of Liberians tune in to this time, even when some of us are at work here in the diaspora. At diverse hours, we tune in to listen to Spoon. And I think the onus is on Stanton and Dwalu and the rest of the guys to set precedents. People like Kev Hassan that will come on the platform. A lot of international partners and other people around the world listen to this platform to get information, to see people like Kev Hassan come on this platform to insult the president and have discussions that are, you guys have to try to maintain the dignity and sanctity of this platform because it's one of Liberia's respected platform. And people like Akaris Gray, people that were very disrespectful. And why are you people giving these people credence? Who told you that you can have good conversation? The only time you can have good it's a good thing to have a balance on the show, but you need to set precedents. People like Akaris Gray, the political institution told them not to come here. You people should put them aside. Kev Hassan should not come here. He insulted that young lady on that show.
Thank you very much.
People should set precedents.
Thank you very much for your input. We appreciate your contribution tonight. Let's take another person here. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
All right, my name is Josiah Small, calling from the Congo Peace Island.
Josiah,
Somebody
please go
called
ahead.
540.
Let's hear you.
I call with heavy heart. Let me say, never mind to the small family, the Prime FM, that is the media landscape of Liberia for the loss of Trojan, one of the founder generally we had. I will say that, no, let me take this time to say thank you to our president today, Mark, his 6 months in office, that our people of East can take their boni, their pepper, and what have you, one day time to Grand Jude, Maryland, and that of River G. Let me say thank you. That's leadership. He truly stand by what he said. He not for blue Liberians, green Liberians, he for all. And honor his leadership at this time. Our brothers from the Southeast got easy route to their homes. And what have you? Let me say thank you. About this time, so we are ready now condominiums. Why he defending our right? Look, building the building. About this time.
Thank you very much for your input.
We are now she run for his son. Lying to us, yeah.
That's all you there, sir. Thank
you.
you.
They're going to succeed. We did not make mistakes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello, you're live. Let's hear you.
Hello.
Yes, you are live on the show. Please go ahead. Your name and where you calling
Yes.
from.
Yes, my name is Bata Doki. I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, what's on your mind?
As one other person has said about Kev Hassan, if the CEO is saying that Spoon Network is for the people, then he please try to listen to the people. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about an individual that abused a lady. Any man that look down upon a lady is not worth to be on the show.
Thank you.
Please, CEO, take care of the show.
Thank you very much for your input. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Let's go back to the phone line. Take this person. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, can you lower the volume of your radio in the background?
Matthew, are you calling from Bon County, District 6?
From District 6, Bon County. What's on your mind?
Yeah, what my is that is you try to listen to us. Some of all we have been instructed as friends and we have fought for CEO business. The easy in our case, they cannot do everything. People are all to join us, they say what are the things that by CEO. We went to a better argument for a basis. You understand? Although you're not in a brother, but I think now I know we defend. Yes. So if we're talking to him, we are the Liberian that when I watch the ball, the show, then later they show is our show. They're not putting argument or what the view that I hear.
Thank you very much.
Our show, yeah, they didn't go all in way like in way and they didn't know.
Thank you very much for your input. Let's take another person. Hello. Hello, you are live. Let's hear you. Your name and where you calling.
Thank God to my small family and thank God to the Brown family. All before I get my input, people have my sympathy on to the PV family for the first time we just lost. And I wanted to tell something to come on. I gotta go. Begging. They country we need peace. We need peace. They power to anything what they say, 8 people. Take away to France. And to the April never any problem on it. When my other man they call me, we begging opportunity come home. And to honorable Yaka. We point the other part people to 10 people. They went there. You know the party when it was nobody now to get someone there. I be your cousin, the former president, mean that everyone can just call. So when I say what the cousin, the president, he went and won through United Party. That's the real respect. And the truth, you your lawmaker, you should be the law. You can't just take anything and put it on the certain president. We need peace. Anybody I'm going to see a laboratory you join will war on the Yaka. We're worrying. We're saying that you don't know the community. You must take down with the president. You must take down. Everything, just talk. Fast for the people of the country.
Thank you, sir. Let's hold you there and take another person. Thank you very much for your input tonight. We appreciate you. You calling on your lawmaker to pass bill and stop talking. Hello. This is Nelson. You're live on the show. You're live on Spoon Talk. Let's hear you.
What's
What's-
you know what we talk to? I mean, what we appealing to the CEO. When you go in the crop, means that selling you that you playing for the dancer. The one what the dancer want, that you will play. So that man, that rules man, that cares man. You see, man, I know that man from his childhood from Bombing. The man not with discipline. So we want for that man to take the man out from school.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for your input. Let's take another person. Hello. You're live. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, Nelson.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
Subandi.
What's on your mind,
Okay.
sir?
What's on my mind is the CEO, Stanton Witherspoon. I don't know what is his problem, whether he's looking for fame or what. Number one, the one-on-one supposed to be one-on-one on Sunday. Why bring people like this? Good people already don't like this. They bring on Sunday. What is the problem? After the backstab him when you are the lowest, but they're praying for him. What is his problem? Is he lonely?
Thank you very much for your input. Let's let's take another person. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you calling from?
This is Christopher Manso.
Christopher, let's hear you. What's on your mind?
I'm calling for Johnsonville, Chiquisify, Lower Johnsonville, brother.
Okay.
I'm begging our government, brother. I call personally this event to appeal. We all brought the government into power. I mean, we are living very, very deplorable. I mean, the road is bad. The road leading Johnsonville, from Johnsonville to Chiquisify Junction, my man, the road is bad. My man, government intervene, my man, the first mission I'll start work.
You mean from Johnsonville to Chicken Factory Junction?
Thank you, bro.
What are you talking about? From I'm coming now. From Johnsonville, Peloton, going in to Chicken Factory.
To going straight to Chicken Factory, brother.
Oh, so you want the Ministry of Public Works to open the road, eh?
Yeah, my man, that public works is trying to come to our ill.
Thank you.
My man, monoboy, all showing people down on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I'm talking about no more. It will definitely use.
Thank you, sir.
Deployable, brother.
Thank you very much for your input. Let's take another person. Hello.
Hello.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You're live. Let's hear your name and where you calling from.
Yeah, this is Rufus King.
Rufus, what's on your mind?
I just want to say you have a sympathy for the loss of legend, veteran, children. I'm also asking the CEO to please listen to the Liberian people. We are tired of Kev Hassan on the show. He caused out a problem for us.
Thank
Let people listen.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
We take another person. Hello. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
My name is Brother Gerald G.
Brother Gay,
I'm
please go
calling
ahead.
from District 10. He's not Ozu.
Okay.
Yeah. We are being to you. We don't want to be on the show again, please. We don't want to be on the show again. You keep that on the show. We are in over. We'll protest and we'll come to the station there.
No. Hey, read that protest point. Yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you.
So
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Let's hold you there and take another person. Hello. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, let's hear you.
I am Prince G. Logia calling from Kakata City, Magini time.
What's on your mind, Prince? Let's hear you tonight.
Well, I just want to express my thanks and appreciation to to the CEO sanctions for at least uniting our man every day and night. Every day, more especially last night show. I really admire him. I should let him keep on. We'll get a reward one day. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your input. We take another person here. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
The line is terrible. Just walk away from the radio and then you can call back. I appreciate it. Hello.
Hello, nothing.
Yes, sir. Let's hear your name and where you calling
Yeah,
from.
this is the man when I'm talking, you just laugh. Don't laugh again, I beg you. This is AKA JMB Junior. I beg you. I come on the south. It's happening, Morovio.
You say AKA JMB what?
JMB Junior, AKA JMB Junior.
Ah, JMB
Also, I don't
Junior.
count.
Okay.
I beg you, don't laugh again. You know what I'll tell you?
No.
I can set the recording for Ken Hassan. When he left the show, he went to the decision. He wanted 3 days radio station that he could call Standard Spoon and tell Standard Water Spoon, our CEO, the man that make us that we believe in. I got recorded for him that he called him a man criminal. I begging you, don't never ever get on the show again. I begging you.
Thank you.
Tell Standard
Thank
Water
you.
Spoon, please, don't never get on the show again.
Thank you very much for your input, sir. We appreciate your thoughts tonight. We appreciate the fact that you can call in and express yourselves, talk about what's on your mind. Let's take this person. Hello, you are live. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello, my name is Small Obel Tower from Markville County,
Okay.
station number 5.
Okay, let's hear you. What's on your mind?
Yeah, what on my mind tonight is that I have problem with why is it that our leaders, that of the president, some of the leaders will come out and just insult them on the air without doing nothing about it. Like Yeke, I have problem with him. I don't want to lie to anybody. I have problem with him. He will get on the air and insult the president. They had nothing to do to him, and he just continue with it. That is why on my mind tonight.
Thank you very much for your input.
Okay.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Thanks a lot. Let's take this person. Hello, you're live. Your name
Listen,
and where you calling?
nothing. This is Jimmy Floman. I'm calling from New Georgia. God.
Yeah, please go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah. I joined the parade to strengthen Waterspoon to take out Kev Hassan from our show. Because he's not doing anything there. It's been there. It's not helping the show. Secondly, I want Spoon TV, Spoon Talk, to tailor some of the Google Talk. There are Google things that you bring it out. But there are too many tons. Which one will follow now for the government to ensure that it is done? So we are pleased about that. Tailor some of the talk, some of the things that are bringing out. If it is the legislature, salary thing, let's see how we can push it. If it is something else, let's make sure that we can push it. But it's too many, for so many square baskets, so which one people pay attention to?
Thank you very much for your input. We'll take a few more, then we bring you in that Mr. Dwalu. Let's just take a few more because our people want to express themselves today. Today is Monday. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, please go ahead. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, good evening, Nelson. My name is Dole Lassana, and I'm calling you from Italy.
Okay. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I just want to respond to a few callers who, continues to say Yeke Kolwa, Kev Hassan, or, is today librarian want to talk about immorality. This is very, very laughable. Just yesterday, Yeke Kolba was right here on the Spoon TV. Saying all kinds of things to the former president, then the president of the Republic of Liberia. Now, they say Yeke Kolba today was on a campaign trail with the president, the vice president then in Lofa County. What more can we say? The same platform, the same Spoon platform. We have Prophet Key here. I listened to a lady saying that we shouldn't allow anybody, it was wrong yesterday, it should be wrong today. Most of those callers are saying, well, we shouldn't allow all those people on the show. They are insulting the president, this and that. These are the same people that was supporting those people yesterday.
Thank you.
Now it is their time. Thank you very much, Nelson.
Thank you for your input. We'll take the last two, Mr. Dwalu, then we'll come over to you, sir. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you calling from? Hello? Yeah, please go ahead. Let's hear you, sir.
My name, my name is Amar Fufana, calling from Germany.
Go ahead.
My thanks go to Mr. Drago in the studio there. Thank you so much. At least we appreciate you guys for the time. And also, what's his mama right now? It's just about the president and the thing that happening. They've gone down, we saw it in the airport. At least the president had to take serious action against some of those guys. Because there's something that will be embarrassing the nation all the time.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. For some reason, your audio is going is fluctuating, so we take the final call now from our local line here. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead. Finally, let's hear you.
This is Mr. Fala from my back with left. What I do understand that there are laws that govern the moral life of Liberians. Way back, it wasn't easy to just stand in the street and abuse, but today I've seen it as nothing. Why is it a lawmaker who made law way back there that no one, even if you are not insulting me, if I hear it those days, you will pay money or they carry you to jail. Why is it today insult is nothing? And then the entire government, they just meet from Opon's time to this period. Why?
Thank you.
Is there no more law for that we should be staring to Kata building insult all the laws that they insult the other elders?
That's all you. Thank you, sir.
Then we gather people every time the lawmakers break the law, we go insult him and tell him mess that he speaks in the radio on the air.
Thank you, sir.
That would be better.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Dwalu, is over to you.
Nelson, thank you for taking a lot of calls. Our people, we hear you. As for the issue of Kev Hassan, this is far beyond my pay grade. It's an administrative issue. I think that's Stanton's decision up with TD. They will make that decision. And somebody called talking about old folks in the country. They should find a way to give some old folks some money when they're old. Sounds good and all well, but I want to say this to you. There is an African proverb that says something like this. It says, where you stand in your youth will determine where you sit as an old man. When these old people were young, did they stand up for Liberia that will ensure they have some social security when they are old? The reason why we fight now is to make sure what is happening does not happen when we become old. So there's a responsibility, although it's a good thing, but is the country prepared to dish out money in that fashion? And I want to say this to my brother Tippos Dempster. He says, all that sweet mother Dwalu doing, you get Dwalu government job, he'll be one of the biggest, and I'm paraphrasing here, he will steal, he will do this, he will do that. I see your point, and I think your point is valid, because the history of our country says so. But I want to also encourage you to continue writing things like this. This is an opposing view. We hear you. We understand where you're coming from. But let me say this to you. Every single society on earth that has changed, somebody came along and said, listen, you got to change it. Yes, a lot of people fail along the way. But just because people have failed in the past doesn't mean everybody else is going to fail. I'm not going to suggest any kind of perfection, but I will say this. But something does not belong to me, I don't touch it. Because somebody has stolen in the past doesn't mean we no longer fight for Liberia. That kind of thinking will get us in this place permanently. We have to move beyond that. I see your point, because everybody else that came before, they said something and they did another thing. Some of us are entirely different. And I understand where you're coming from, but I want you to know this. We cannot continue to stop, or we cannot stop fighting for the soul of Liberia. We have to keep trying until we get it right. We got to keep fighting. And you, Mr. Tippos Dempster, I want you to join this fight to transform this country. We have to find a way around it. Let's hold each other to account. Let's continue to criticize one another, but let's insist on the right thing. If Fadiga decides he wants to become the ombudsman of the Republic of Liberia, Fadiga should be held to account so he can do what is described in the job description of the ombudsman. It is our job to hold him to account. I don't have to be perfect to criticize something. I just want that thing to change. Well, it doesn't matter what I'm there or not. Fadiga, welcome to the show, my brother.
Thanks, Waller. I was listening in the back there. The callers, there are a lot of things going on in this country, and I do agree with you. I think I wrote an article the other day about the danger of painting everybody with one brush. A lot of times, because of this mindset that people believe that it is the way we can do things here, or our way we can do things here. In that Liberian way that has now worked for 177 years. People believe that is the way they do things, and they don't even try. So I had a conversation with a couple of guys today, and we're talking about even our lawmakers. I told someone, I said, for too long we talk about corruption and how people are corrupt and what is going on. We know the problem in Liberia. Yeah. So what can we do about it? Mm-hmm. And I have moved, the few times I've been here, Dwalu, I have moved from just looking and talking at the problem and then thinking on ways that we can solve it. And there are ways that we can solve it. Yeah. So many different ways. And one of the only way, especially in this democracy that we, anything called democracy that we tend to practice, I would say, to want to emulate, is to negotiate, and I don't see us doing that. I have identified a couple of moderate, I would say moderate, because level-headed lawmakers that I believe we can work with to change some things. Even in the executive, I think we need to identify these people and build a coalition, because one of the fundamental things that I think we've been losing sight of is that these people were elected by somebody. They are a reflection of those people that voted for them. There are certain people you and myself will not vote. There are certain things, I don't care what you say, you and myself will not fall for it. It's because some of us have attained enlightenment. A lot of our people don't see things that way. So we can have the population seeing things from, in their own interest, and something we need to come together and find those level-headed lawmakers and say, hey, guys, we've been doing this thing for X amount of years. Let's think about the freshman legislators. Most of the guys, they are overzealous. You see Musa Benedict talking about audit. I see my mentor one way. I see all the guys there, because they do not have a history yet.
But I don't want to interrupt you. You said something that I don't want us to forget. You mentioned my brother Musa Belete. You mentioned Tai Wombe. The reason why I keep telling diaspora Liberia, let me tell you why most of our people in Liberia don't criticize the way Oduadu will or the way of Fadiga will. The people intentionally keep our people extremely hungry, where they gotta go beg them for food. So those of you in the diaspora, in America, in Australia, in Canada, you have to get aggressively involved in Liberia, because either way you're going to eat. The reason why our people can't say anything, they gotta go beg them the next day for food. Look, I said something here about Honorable Senator Nukwe. Nukwe is mad as a freaking bat out of hell. He paying young boys to say, oh, Dwalu, they were attacked Dwalu, they on Facebook talking nonsense. Do you really believe that I give a crap about what Nukwe thinks? Nukwe 15 houses that we're about to show on the show here. You think I care about how you build this house here? I'm going to criticize it. And the reason why I can do that, my eating pena in Nukwe house. Nukwe lay down, Nukwe can eat steak, I will eat steak. Nukwe want baka, I will baka. I mean, not buy the same type of car that Nukwe has, because his is stealing money from the people. Let me say it, all the documents are there. But until we get a voice in the country where we can look, my brother Dimston, and I really appreciate you for this. Look, if I push and I continue to push and I want Liberia to move up, if I'm given the opportunity to get there, I am less likely to do what other people are doing, because I've already spoken about it. Back in the day, there was no social media. You can pull up this video and say, oh, Dwalu, you said this. This is why I continue to advocate for let Fadiga be able to pay a horse first. Fadiga gets something for himself before you bring Fadiga to government. When Fadiga is extremely hungry, Dwalu is extremely hungry. When you bring me to government, the first thing in my head is to go pay a horse because I've never built a house before. First of all, the first 6 years, I will take care of myself. So we're going to achieve nothing. I want us to pursue excellence, where Mr. Kekula has set himself apart. He started selling Grumpy. Look, there's a brother of mine, and I will mention his name. I don't think he will mind. Double, out of Bona Farm. The guy has a gas station, one of the biggest gas stations in Bona Farm, owned by a Liberian. He started selling peanut, he and his wife. They sold peanut, they begin Kiaball. If you're not Kiaball business, Double boy land from across the street. And Double went and built a massive gas station that he hired a bunch of people. He built a store. This is a brother that I groomed through the process. The idea of building a house, he's far beyond that because he already built several houses. This is what I'm talking about. Let's find our best and brightest and let them come to the governmental space. When they come there, they will be forced to produce. This is not suggesting that necessarily that they're any worse off. But what we are saying is, if we don't take our best and brightest, we will not get the kind of results that we want, Fadiga.
I slightly differ with you on that. I agree with some aspect that people should submit, but it's practically impossible that everybody, because some people, there's some young men just fresh out of school that went away and acquire education like in the US. They might not be able to, they might not be on that level that you are talking about yet. Are we going to disenfranchise them because of that? No.
Can I answer that question? Let me answer that question.
Yeah, answer. Yeah.
You live in Minnesota. In the history of Minnesota, how many people over the last 100 years that fresh out of college wanted to go in the legislature? They are not prepared yet. I'm not saying they don't have the money.
I've seen people going there, but yeah, this is how they are going there. A lot of young people, if you look at the world right now, a lot of young people are getting into politics. You look at Emmanuel Macron, the Justin Trudeau, even the new guy from one of the European countries right now. A lot of young people are going there. Even in the legislature, they start with community organizing. They start with local government politics. You know, a lot of them. I even saw Mark Elliott, a Liberian. I think older than Mark Elliott that became city mayor of Brooklyn Center. He was, I think, in his 20s. You know, I saw him as a young kid in Brooklyn Park. Mark Elliott. But what I'm saying, I agree with you to a certain point. What I think is the problem is the lack of accountability. When you do not look, we do not have any deterrent mechanism. The reason, Eduardo, when was the last time anybody has been prosecuted for economic crime in the country or gone to jail? Maybe they have been prosecuted. Have you seen anybody in my life? I can't remember. Maybe something that have gone to jail in this country for corruption. It has never happened. So there is nothing to deter anybody from doing the same thing. Nothing will stop anybody from doing it because we are not enforcing the law. Our judicial system is weak. Look, Dwalu, there's a country that you can pay a lawyer. The lawyer as criminal minded as the criminal. In America, your license is on the line.
On the line.
One mistake after going through that rigor of acquiring your law degree, going through all the process, and you know that license, if you trip, you will lose all the hundreds of thousands of dollars you pay to go to school. And then everything, and you lose it. So people who do not hold people accountable for anything, whether it's nurses malpractice, whether it's the law, a lawyer, destroying client privilege or stealing from the client, or the other way around. We do not hold people accountable. Either somebody begging for someone or somebody because they believe that they might fall in similar situation, so they will do it. Look. The chances of someone coming to beg for you if you commit crime in America is very high. You do the crime, in fact, I don't care. It's not even about money. Yeah, money do play a factor. You can get a good lawyer, but when you do the crime, everybody run away. In fact, it's something. So in Liberia, we protect criminals. That's what happened. So it's not. So for me, there are a lot of things, laws in the book. There are so many things that we've already gotten down. How do we enforce it is the problem. And the way we can do it, especially with the legislature and all the different things, I think we need to get talk to like-minded lawmakers, bring them on the table and say, hey, gentlemen, look, I've talked to a lot of lawmakers, even Nikwe. I've spoken to a lot of those guys. They are human beings. They are Liberian. They are regular guys. They want. I've looked through their eyes. I've seen that these people. Look, you'll be surprised that a lot of people don't even know what they are doing is harming the people. Because
no, Fadiga, I mean, I for that one minute, you must say me plan on the show. There is no freaking way. Look, Emmanuel Nukwe was living in a mud hut in Wiala before he became representative. He goes from rubber plantation to sell rubber. He saw the ill of that society. He comes to power. This man is building all over the place. He don't know. They do know what's happening.
Let me tell you this. Let me end that phrase. Let me end the psychological effect. Look, if you grew up in an abusive home where your parents were all abuser, chances are 100% that you yourself will be an abuser. We live in a society. What success look like in Liberia? Success look like you don't have to be the bread and breaders. You don't have to buckle up your bootstrap, go to MIT or do anything. In America, those that are successful, those are people that put in the work. They put in the time, whether it's education, whether it's different things, but they put in more time. In Liberia, when you look at successful people and you look at what they have accumulated over the years, how do they get it? So everybody want to be, I call it, if you say corrupt, the buildings, I call it monument and statue of corruption. All these massive things that those guys amassed over the year, they got it through what? A lot of them, almost 90% through government. And the next person in the child that want to go up, nobody want to be doctor anymore. Everybody want to go on the university campus. They want to go on the Sycamore Tree. They want to be politician because politician is our new Wall Street. That is where you apply less efforts, you make a lot of noise, and you go into politics. So tell me, for you think that these guys know, but sometimes, even if they know, we need to enlighten them, we need to conscientize them, educate them, have seminar, and say, hey, this is the effect of what you do. Sometimes subconsciously people do things because that's how they see their people. That's the country that we're handing to this generation. In previous generation, Uncle said we probably know it, hand it to the next generation. That is all they know. Other countries, you see the private sector have grown. In Liberia, there are more people pushing towards government because that is where success is. So when I say that some of the guys there, subconsciously they may not know, it's because you think that they're supposed to know better, but they don't know better.
Trust me, they know. They're just weak. Mr. Jackson, welcome to the show. Look, Liberians would say, the men working, you don't expect the men left to change. Let me tell you something. Your life is expected to change incrementally, not exponentially. There's a difference. Let me tell you something. To take a regular person in Liberia to buy a piece of land that could cost between $1,500 to $2,000 US for that one lot of land. To take that person to build a 3-bedroom house, working at a regular job would take almost 10 years for them to build that 3-bedroom house. In the same country, you say you don't expect the man's life to change, and the man's life changes overnight from literally zero to becoming a millionaire on the people's dime, and your justification is but the man working. Look, I understand.
Well, let me make one point.
Not you,
something that I observe here, and then we'll go. Welcome, Sis Glenn. Welcome, Uncle Seb. Let me say this. I observed something in the last couple of months, and I knew that over the years, but you just kind of confirm it. Look, we beat on prominent people, but I will tell you, I know ordinary Liberians that work in those ministries. Ordinary, they're not director, they're not something that have a mass wealth in this country. That some of those people that you're talking about don't even come close.
I understand.
It's low key.
Yeah.
It just shows you how this thing is it's entrenched in our society.
And there's a reason why. That reason is you can outdo it. The Olympic man, welcome to the show. The leadership set the standards in our country. If I am running the Free Port of Monrovia, and my agenda is to steal from the free poor, all my deputies and my assistants going to do the same thing because they believe it's open block on the, OBCC on the block. Everybody going to do it. It is encouraged by the leadership. And there is no consequence. Mr. Jackson, welcome to the show. Since Glenny, I think you came first, or Mr. Jackson, whoever, yeah, go ahead, man.
Well, let my sister go first.
All right. Since Glenny, a little bit, man. How you doing?
Hello, everybody. I like that. I love that introduction.
Look at
my position changed today officially. Officially, my position changed. Anyway, it's good to be on. I'm excited. Team Liberia is in Paris. That's a good thing for us Liberians. Our children are there. We can wish them all the very best, and we thank God for safe travels. A lot of things happening today. 6 months for JMB government, right?
Yep.
So we'll be looking at some of the stuff that they've done. Yesterday, I was listening to the callers talking about the show yesterday. One caller made me laugh. He said, is Stanton lonely or what? Or he ain't get no friends. But anyway, it's very good to be on.
Uncle Sam, let me come to you. The officials in government, can you think of any justification where Dwalu comes to government, Dwalu can barely pay $35 a month for rent, and then in 6 months Dwalu builds a massive mansion? Is that to say, but Dwalu get where he? Is there any justification for me to be able to substantiate what I've acquired?
Well, the first of all, look, we have to really. I'm not a psychologist. I wish Dr. Francine was here. Okay. I have never lived in a society where it's an inverted pyramid, right? Where the worst go to the top and the best are at the bottom. I've never seen it in my life. I've really never seen that in my life. And with the way wealth is amassed, it's like it's purely dysfunctional. Somebody comes from a madhouse and gets a job as a customs collector, and the guy starts to build apartment buildings around town. Look, where I moved to as a young man when I got my house, one of the first black families there, and I did a mistake. I wanted to go buy a Mercedes because I got a big bonus check. The neighbors were like, "Who is this guy?" They start to check you out to find out who you are. Yeah, they didn't. Why would a young kid, 26, 27-year-old, be driving a Mercedes, right? They would start thinking. But in Liberia, nobody asks questions. Nobody would definitely. Now we can say the Americans are nosy, but they work so hard. They get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to get their kids to go to school. Whether it's in the rain, whether it's in the snow, whether it's in the sun, they do it. And then somebody come move there after they took about 25, 30 years to move into that Toonie neighborhood, that's a urban neighborhood. And some young persons, that kind of moving there and starts, having all kind of parties and stuff. They'll call the cops and it will be like asking all kind of questions about it. But in Liberia, unfortunately, somebody can move from rags to riches in no time at all. And everybody, in fact, and the thing is, like, everybody will start heralding this person. There will not be people who say they will like despise this person, and it will be like they will gravitate towards this person, and this person eventually will use his money to attract voters and become a representative, become a senator, and eventually become president of Liberia. This is just the way it is. And it's, and I don't understand. Like, you have to work hard, you have to grow, and you have to be, get something in your head to be able to make it. But in Liberia, and I was just telling somebody today, look at the 2 gifts or whatever being given to our government. One Ghanaian billionaire gave us 20 police cars and 2 1,200 kVA generators. And one South African billionaire gave us 285 yellow machines. Right? In terms of per capita asset, we have more asset, trillions of dollars in iron ore, billions of dollars in gold, billions of dollars in foreign resources. Yes, we don't have 1 billion yet. Not even somebody who was legitimately worth $50 million. Legitimately worth $50 million who is unconnected to government. Doesn't exist.
Mr. Jackson, you said something. I don't want to skip this. And Liberian people, Uncle Sen spoke about inverted pyramid. Let me tell you why that is extremely dangerous. If you take the least character people in the country, the people that are most likely to be amoral, who have not prepared themselves adequately, and now they are setting the moral standard of that society because they are governing that society, everything becomes rotten. The reason why you see people talk in this society, if Mr. Jackson moves to a neighborhood, he's 26, 27 years old, he's driving a Mercedes, he could corrupt their children in a way that they don't want. They will say, oh, where he's getting the money from. You have to know what this person is getting the money from. I understand. You say, oh, but then, you know, we're poor, hungry, people living in poverty. I get it. I understand it. And I continue to tell you, this is by design. They keep you in abject poverty so they can control you. When they are trucking you and they're busting you for $20, it is literally corrupting the entire society. And when you corrupt the society, we take people who have not prepared, who don't have the proper pedigree to set the moral standards of the country, to set the economic standards of the country, to set the intellectual standards of the country. They're not in charge. The people that have scored at 69 and 70 there, they don't want to go set the standard. And what happened here? It become a lopsided standard that continue to doom the entire society. That's what we are talking about. Then some idiot will say, but it may get jealous. Of course, I'm jealous that you get somebody who is not prepared that's going to government because he's using hook and crook, using the people's money. It should not be that way because my country will get destroyed. Glendy, Apadiga.
I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth. We all should want better, and we all should aspire to want better for our country. Just yesterday, I was telling somebody today, the first thing for us to do is not to be pessimistic. We all want best for Liberia. We understand that things may not be aligning with what some of our core expectations are right now, but we can't be so pessimistic about the fact that we've tuned off to a better Liberia already. This is a new government. We're talking about 6 months. They will have a lot of mishaps. Hey, we had a government there for six years who, when we look back, we really can't count on the things they've done. We have to be objectively critical on the things that they're doing. But this is Liberia. When you are a pessimist about your country, it also affects you. We can't be pessimistic about it. Like somebody was saying, I want to talk about a little bit about, they're talking about Kamala Harris. And then people are already starting to say, white America not ready, black America not ready, they're not ready for a woman. What have you done? What are you going to do to make that difference? How are you going to help the situation? We can't always come and say, oh, they're doing wrong, and we're not helping to fix it. We're not helping to be a part of the solution. In the government, this is the thing, it's a continuity. There are a lot of things that was not fixed in the previous government that this government will not be able to fix. And there are things that are lapped over from Ellen government that George Weah was not able to fix. I think if we want better for our country, we also have to be critical in a way that it does not make our country look like a no-go zone. We all want to have an opportunity to go home, want to have an opportunity to give back to our country. So we have to be objectively critical, but not expect like a whole new, brand new country after 6 months. I don't think that would be fair for the country. We need to slow down on the pessimism.
Is anybody who expects that? I think you're biting off more than you chew. Fadiga, let me come to you. Let me ask you this question before I put up our first talking point. Let me say this to you. Liberia, what is wrong with criticizing? Well, let me just take the word criticizing. We're asking a person who cannot substantiate his wealth to show the Liberian people how this was acquired. Is that a bad thing to ask an official who's been entrusted? Even if you're making $15,000 a month, with all the money they give away, can you provide some receipt as to what you've gotten before you acquire all this wealth? I remember when Ali started first came to power, he declared, I said he had one wheelbarrow, one shovel, one hairpin, and the one-bedroom place he was living. In the span of no time, he was known as Corruption King Kong. He could build massive amount of mansions all over the place. Now, he ran back for representative. He ran back again, became a senator of Bowman County. That's what Uncle Sam says. These guys are mass wealth. They use the money and they spin that money around in order to stay in power. And these are the people that are guiding the moral compass of the country. You're not supposed to say it because you say, oh, that'll Jedi, because you're not in government. Paliga, how do you respond to that?
Well, the reason these guys are able to do that is because we do not hold people accountable. Like I said earlier, in as much as it is bad, we do not hold people accountable, and people elected them. I'm a bit. My mindset on elected officials is kind of a little different because it takes a lot for me to actually support you to the point that I will cast my vote for you. I have to see certain things. I don't just, it's not something that I gave away easily. And we have seen it. We have seen people get a vote for the dumbest thing, even though it means a lot to them, rice. People give you $5 here, $10 here. People truck people. People do a lot of crazy things, and they feel that is nothing, and these are the same people that go about crying later on. And a lot of things. So how do we educate our people to know that they are the real custodian of power in this country? That they can decide who lead them and they can take away that power from you. But they have not been shown how to use it, even how to demand. You go to lawmaker office, all of them say that, oh, my child, they went there. Yeah, that poverty. If lawmakers in America or the system in America were giving people that chance, people will do it for. What do people go to the lawmaker for? Some Liberians, they go there for, legislation that will help the community. They go there as a group. They don't go there as individual. They go together there as some to bring things to them. So we need to elevate our people to that level. Another thing this is very important. Those lawmakers, officials that you claim to be corrupt, are a direct reflection of the people that put them there. They are no different. If you switch it around and put those same people there, they will do the same thing. And then what comes to mind is, why do we have a society that people just corrupt? Why do we have a society that whenever you give people an opportunity, they try to abuse it and enrich themselves? It points to one thing: we do not hold people accountable. Our judiciary system, our law enforcement is lacking. So yes, because we do not have any deterrent mechanism, people will do this thing. So how do we solve that problem? We fix it. We strengthen our judiciary system and make it independent, free from influence. We empower our law enforcement officers that they do not look shabby, that people will be causing. They'll be asking for $5 here and there and something. Look, Dwalu, I don't know how many African countries you're going to, but there are African countries that you're not even able to look in the police face. Right here, Senegal. Right here, even Ghana, I think it's like that. I've not encountered anybody even trying to do it. They may do it on the ground, but it's not that open and prevalent like how we see in our country. So until we can start holding those other people accountable as well, you see the list of people, things that we have to put in place. We have to hold law enforcement accountable to do the job. Then we start to hold the other people that. So it's a long list. And one thing, Dwalu, our people not willing to do it. They will kill you before they get at them, because you know what? The mindset here is people are comfortable with that life. So we keep talking. We keep talking. People like for you to package this beautiful sentimental lies and tell them so they can feel good. But the reality here is we are not ready. It has to start from somewhere.
Fadiga, this is a great segue into the next segment here. Siani Yo, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia, is threatening to take action against the executive and the legislature over budgetary issues. Here's my question to you, Uncle Sam. With all the lack of justice in her court, she doesn't speak about it. When cases are lingering in the courts for years, she doesn't speak about it. But they play over money, like the only time she can come outside and talk. Why is that the case, Mr. Jackson?
Well, I mean, but let's face it, she does have a right. I mean, if money's budgeted for her and it's a law, then she should get that money. Bottom line. Now, I mean, you can make the politics out of it that the judiciary is rotten. There's no equal justice in Liberia. But just stick to the fact that her money to run her court is not, which is budgeted for. She's not getting it, and she has a right to complain. Now, the judicial incompetence, lack of equity in the judicial system, those are all other valid issues. But you have to separate the two of them. You have to separate the two, because are you saying that because the judiciary is not justice is not blind, we have a lot of issues with the rule of law, therefore that her just compensation or her just benefits should not be given because we have this problem with the judiciary?
Let me answer your question quickly. I'll give it back to you. Let me answer your question. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when other people are being denied the justice, she doesn't speak about it. When anything affects the society, she doesn't speak about it until it affects her personally. Why is that the case? Did we put her over that she only worry about herself or about the country? That is the main question. I got more about her.
Yeah, but the question is an unfair and unjust question.
Okay.
Right? Because it's not the role of the Chief Justice to be making speeches about injustices in Liberia or other ills of the society like that. It's not her role. Her role is to implement justice system to rule on what the judicial review.
Talking about money that her role. Talking about money that her role, that the controller role. Let's leave it to the finance people. Her role is justice.
So no, she is the head of the Supreme Court, and if she feels that in order for her to be effective, she needs some money. I don't think you should deny her the right to speak about that, because you have injustice in the country, because you have an ineffective rule of law, and you have all these things. Dwalo, the country needs a complete a tune up, and there are a lot of things that we need to do. One of the problems I have with a lot of you young people, you say, why you didn't speak on this before? Why you didn't speak on this? I decide when and where I speak based upon how I feel and where I feel my interests lie. This is a democracy. Democracy is about competing interests. It's about competing interests. Views that I had before, I may change them because of certain political arrangement. That's just the way politics is. Democracy is not a pretty game. Democracy is not something, it is very messy, but that is the most systemic way of representative democracy that the world has ever known, unfortunately. That's why it doesn't work in poor countries.
Since let me come to you. Siani Yo has a daughter on the payroll. Her daughter and herself spent close to $33,000 as DSA. They fly themselves to Turkey for medical checkup. This is the same woman in the same country where soldiers can barely make $250 a month, but she's worried about it. Yes, I agree. Talking about money is part of the judiciary money. She should speak about it. But why isn't she talking more about justice, which is her main role, than more so about money, says Glennie? Am I pursuing this wrongly? Should she have a daughter on the payroll of the Republic of Liberia? Isn't that nepotism?
It is nepotism. It is nepotism, but that's an entirely different matter.
No, I'm just saying something. Now let me come in. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I think there's several pieces to this here, and you have to be able to separate them to be able to properly adjudicate them. You got to separate it. You got to separate the fact that if her daughter does work for the court, that is nepotism, and that aspect of it needs to be audited, needs to be investigated. Does her daughter work directly with her? Now, it may be that her daughter is a well-learned person who she's not her boss, but also you have to look and see if there's anything that's against the code of conduct when it comes to that, and whether that is nepotism. You got to investigate that. So it's difficult for justices to come out now like she's doing, to come out now and speak on money issues. I don't think that's a role. I don't think that's something that she should do publicly. Why it is that she may, and I think her concern is the fact that there are equal branches of government. So she's saying we're all aligning, we all should be equal. What belongs to me, I should be able to get. But I'm thinking that there are other ways that she could have done it than just only like that. Like, and the Liberians have a right to critique her on this. If we haven't heard her say anything, we haven't heard any new laws passed, we haven't heard any information that she's provided on any case. Why is it now that the first thing she's talking about is the fact that they're not getting the funds that is allocated for the judiciary branch? I think that's a little bit concerning. I think that's something that should not be the first thing that her name should be. We shouldn't be talking about her about that. We should be talking about other things. What has been some of her decisions? How have the court ruled on issues? Who we went for almost 9 months not knowing about justice. Now we're being sick. We didn't know about that. What has been some of her positions on those things? The first thing for us to hear now is to hear her saying that what you all are doing is unfair or it's not right. I think the Liberian people, if they critique her in that role, I think they will be correct to do that.
Yes, it's good. Fadiga, let me come to you. What Justice Siana Duyo has done as it relates to her daughter is an impeachable offense. She understands that, but she knows the country she's in. Nobody gonna touch her. Justice Yo has not spoken anything about justice in the country. I'm not saying she shouldn't speak about her money because the lower courts need the money. But I think this is a job that should be dedicated to somebody beneath her, not the Supreme Court Justice, the Chief Justice of the Liberian Republic, talking about money being in the press when she has not spoken about anything else unless that thing were pertaining to her. Fadiga, let me ask you this question. Is this the right thing for Siana Yo to talk about? Or should she talk about why girls that are getting raped in Kidman County are not getting justice? Or what the courts are doing in Riverside County? What should be her primary role here, Fadiga?
Well, I don't know about her being the one advocating for girls. As the Chief Justice, she has to walk that fine line because that's the final decider of our law. But I do not know the entirety of the case. The letter that we saw the other time, I think it was DSA. The girl that went with her to Turkey, her office assistant, is that person her daughter? Eduardo, is that what you are saying?
Yes, that's her daughter.
Well, that's nepotism, and we all know that is wrong. If the girl is learned and competent and was working with another justice, that would be different. But hiring her daughter as her office assistant is just too broad. It's just a very broad form of nepotism. We all know that. So definitely, I think it's wrong. It just looked bad. It reflects bad on her. But that is something that we see around here a lot. So it makes it, look, we have normalized a lot of things in this country. It is wrong. Just off the back, it is wrong. If that's what she did, it is wrong. But it has been normalized in this country. People do it in different forms. People do it all the time. So a lot of people, like I said, the circuit of the Liberian people will not think that it's only you and myself will see it. But a lot of people will just say, oh yeah, if they hire someone else, So we have to be able to hold people accountable. Back to the same thing that I said. We have to be able to hold people. Will anything be done about it? Dualu, do you believe that something will be done about it?
Nothing. Because this is what will happen. The justice will threaten people that if you do this, when you come before me, I'm going to rule this way or rule that way. Look, Uncle Sid, let me say this to you. To the young people.
Well, you see, they're talking about the problem and not finding so what would be, I want you to say this,
yeah.
What would be a solution to this problem? How do you think we can stop this?
Fadiga, I don't just come on the show and say, yes, a solution to a problem. I tell people, this is what I've thought about, sit down and written about, look it up and read it, and these are the solutions. Institutional governance is the only hope for Liberia. Google it and read it. A simple economic guide to fix Liberia. Liberia requires constitutional ferocity. Google those 3 people, my solutions are there. The Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia is
You're
not
talking to Marco Dati,
Yeah.
in West Point.
No, but listen now. That's why I'm breaking down now. Listen. The Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia understands one thing. She can do whatever she wants and nobody's going to do anything to her. But this is not true. The law, you can arrest the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia. Arrest her, put her in handcuffs, and put her in a dirty cell in South Beach if she breaks the law. But nobody wants to do that in Liberia because everybody says, oh, that the woman want to steal my man and you touch the Chief Justice and the woman will carry a case. You cannot carry a case before the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia. And she rules outside the confines of the law. If she does that, it is illegal. Until we become forceful about the issue pertaining to Liberia, it's not going to change. Sienna Hill knows better, but she will not do better because nobody holds her to account. Uncle Sam, I'm going to give it to you. We'll go to the next
So
topic.
look, there are a lot of matters that we've been discussing, and we need to basically focus on the main issue. Does she have a right to demand her just benefits? Absolutely. And I always support financial autonomy for the 3 branches of government. So that, for example, the legislature will have their own budget, where they have their own disbursing mechanism, so that they don't have to rely upon the executive and do the bidding of the executive to pass legislation. Likewise, the judiciary. I think money should be put, if they're available, into the Supreme Court account so that they can manage their own budget and that money can be audited so they can have financial autonomy and they cannot be beholden to the executive. That's how it is done in civilized countries around the world. But when everybody has to run to the Ministry of Finance, to the disbursing office, the controller, and the assistant minister for fiscal affairs, the deputy minister of fiscal affairs, and to the minister, right? Once you have to go through all that change and you have to pay all those funds just to get your own money, that's where the corruption comes in. So the thing is that, and I agree with you, Dwalo, we need to fix governance. The reason why Liberia is at the place where it is now, it is the 8th poorest country on the planet, is because there's no good governance. Because with good governance, with good judiciary, and with good financial architecture, we'll attract good capital. We'll fix the problem of informality, where 80.9% of the population here work in the informal sector, subsistence farming or selling in the street. We need wage employment. We need people to come and create jobs, to make things, to open factories, to open hotels and restaurants, to do tourism or wood processing industry. But we cannot do that. Investors will not come to a jungle, okay? A jungle where people don't abide by laws. There are no systems in place, and there are high risks in doing business in Liberia. So the only people that do extremely well are the Lebanese, who have managed to understand the corruption is what they exist on. They don't pay the appropriate taxes. They don't hire Liberians, according to our law. They don't abide by our laws. They repatriate all their monies, and they love it this way. And it's been that way for 80 or 90 years. This is the country that we have agreed to have, to fight each other nightly, to fight each other daily, okay? To promote our champions, no matter how corrupt they are, to support government, no matter how corrupt they are, no matter anything they do. We all do it. That's just the way the politics of Liberia is. No one makes an independent judgment based upon equity. It's all about what am I going to get out of it. That's just the way we are, and it's been that way 1847.
Yeah, but Sis Glennie, welcome, Dr. Bropless. Sis Glennie, let me say this to you. I hear what Uncle Sam said. It is true to understand that I don't want it to be true. But how do we change this? Every single time they will put the blame. Look, I just said something here, and everybody squinted. Said, "Well, you drink something, I want to drink some." Where I said somebody who is in charge in the country, responsible for a certain task, if he or she commits a crime, they should get arrested and put in the same filthy cell that they put everybody else. People think this is crazy. Oh, that woman, that be woman. We shouldn't arrest this woman now. I'm going to use the former Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia, Gloria Mususka, when she was arrested. People say the woman, the people are too dead for the woman to go. The place should not be like this. Why don't we fix the problem? Why is it so difficult for us to fix the problem pertaining to the country? But we believe it should only be to all the people that are very poor in the country. But young people in the country just sit down and expect their society to change. And they don't think they will do anything, but will just change automatically. Why do we think this way, says Glennie?
I don't know. I think the change that I always say the change we seek starts from us. If we're not willing to change the things that we're doing, it spills over to the government.
True.
So the Chief Justice can do what's right. She can do if her daughter is indeed hired, and that's nepotism, she can correct that. But if she's not going to correct it and just say, well, if they see it, they talk, and nothing's going to happen, then that's what it is. We are the ones that's going to change the society that we live in. If we're not competent and we're not able, and we cannot hold ourselves accountable to change and to fix the Liberia we want, and it's a waste of time. Government's not going to do it. It is the people that's in the government. Yeah. And the people that's in the government have to be able to create the avenue for that change. So the change starts with the people. We can't blame the government. Okay, yes, the government may not be giving the money or they may not be doing something collectively. But what are you doing as an individual? How are you effecting that change? So I'm not going to blame everything. We can't blame the government. We blame the people that's in the government because they're incapable of becoming the change agents that they're supposed to be. That's the problem we have.
Maliga, let me segue over, says Glennie. Change. Do you think we're ready to withstand the impact of change in terms of understanding what it takes to truly change the society that we say we want to change? Do you think Liberians are ready for that? Do we even understand what change means? Because change has consequences. Are we willing to accept the consequences that come to change? Where the biggest bishop in the country gets arrested at 12 o'clock with handcuffs and is slamming into a police vehicle? Are they willing to make sure we walk into a courtroom where the judge is sitting on the bench and you grab that judge, two policemen knocking on the ground, put handcuffs on him, and you hog tie him and take him in the back of a police car? Are we ready for that? Do we understand what it takes to change this country? I'm going to leave you guys. I told you guys I was leaving already today.
We're not ready for that. There's too many camaraderie on the ground. People tend to protect one another. But I have not lost hope. I still believe that we have room for change. We have to continue to talk to our people, engage our people. More like-minded people need to get involved, and we need to keep talking and bringing people together and build consensus around this. The reason why change is difficult here is because everybody is like there's this mindset here that everybody look for. Is that we all have a golden ticket. One hall pass, I would say hall pass for some of you to know. So it's like I will offend one of these days, so I will keep one hall pass for myself, and I will let another person sin slide away, because when I sin, that way they will forgive me too. And like I say, it boils down to not holding people accountable. But we can change. Look, Sister Glennie, one of the things that you will wonder, why is it that people that believe that they cannot live and follow the rule will come into a Western society and abide by the rules? Why is it that people that believe that this cannot happen in Liberia will come to America and then in less than because nobody is allowing you to go? You know, if you make one mistake, you will do the time. I'll give you one example, Sis Glennie. There was this body of man. We were all on a refugee camp in Guinea there. Came to America. This guy was so excited to come to America. In fact, this guy felt that if he didn't come to America, he would not die. Fast forward, moved to America. He thought he was still on a refugee camp drinking palm wine. Let me tell you what his brother did. He didn't have a driver license. He was just driving on a permit, a learner permit. went to the liquor store, bought a bottle of Hennessy, put it in the paper bag, started drinking, drunk. As soon as he got out of the liquor store, the police pulled him over. Do you know what they did? They suspended the lesson, issuing over $1,000 ticket. Then he had to go through all the something. It cost his brother over $20,000 to go through all the different process. Not only that, it affected him from getting his citizenship because he had that DUI and then driving on a reckless driving and everything on his record. This man didn't even have a driver license yet. So you know what he had to do? He had to rely on people to take him to work. Now his American dream was shattered because it delayed him by almost 3 years, 3 to 5 years, for that one simple crazy mistake. That's how it is done on that side. In Liberia, are we willing to go through that rigor? Are we willing to go through, put our people through any of those things? No. People without accept it. People get a slap on the wrist. So we have to keep talking. We have to keep having conversation, educating our people, whether through radio ad, through the schools, and through all this something, because the American didn't get it that easily. It started from the small children. They started to embed it in the cartoons that they watch on TV, in different social programs. That's how they build that thing and then hold people accountable. But until then, we'll just keep talking. Hey, Dr. Brobler, welcome.
Welcome, down. Are you frozen, Dr. Brobler? Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be here. Good to see my friends. Thank you.
Yeah. So since you're coming, we're talking about I think the cover. I don't know where Dwalu went, but we're talking about the voice that we're now hearing from Senior Yo about. I don't know if you're familiar with what her concerns are, and what her statements have been as it relates to the executive and the legislative branch. And then there was also a concern that Dwalu talked about, the fact that there could be nepotism with the allegation of her daughter working with her in the court. So what say you about why is she speaking now? Should she be speaking? Should she not be speaking?
Okay.
Nepotism. All right, we're waiting
Well,
for your
that was the
Go ahead.
that's the headline in the Verity newspaper. No, just saying that was the headline in one of the dailies I have right here with me about her daughter at the place. But look, I wrote comments. Okay, so I sat in my office today and I started thinking 6 months in. I wrote a list of complaints and a list of commendation because I have both for this government. I think that there's so many things that look so similar to yesterday meaning the last leadership, and that's frustrating to me, but then again, I'm hopeful. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm hopeful because you can turn things around. The president, though, will need to lead the way, and he will need to shake things up a little bit. Business as usual is not cutting it. And people read you, in leadership. Glennie, you've been in leadership role. People read you, they size you up, and they see your tolerance level. And when they feel like they can get by with stuff, they will. There's plenty of that getting by with stuff right now. I thought in the first 6 months that this government will send a strong message that we are here to rescue the people. It's going to be all about the people. And if you come with your own individual agenda, we're going to sideline you quickly. I haven't seen that yet, but I'm hopeful that the next 6 months we start to see a shift. Look, the arrest agenda can get it done if you stick with it, okay? And when we talk, I was listening to all your comments about where we are. We ready for the change, the shift that's needed. Listen, one of the best ways to do it is to decentralize. You know why? Decentralized, one county will have the guts, will have some leaders who will say, let's shake things up. You know, the great USA that we all talk, you know, different states do different things. When I drive through South Carolina, I don't play the fool because you know the police don't play. When you get there, and you know, I heard Fadi guy talk, you know, white man. Well, here, if you were to decentralize, counties will begin to identity. So it not just be what happened on the national scene and then we all talk about it. It will be pockets of better places where people will do things better, and then other people can learn from that. So you know, I'm cautiously optimistic and hopeful that the next 6 months will be the shake-up, and then we'll set on the right track. For the next 5 years, this country will do very well. We'll see what happens.
All right. So it's 6 months. I think Dr. Brooklyn now lead us into the 6 months aspect of it. Let's while we wait for Senator Dwalo, will just go ahead. Let's hear from Uncle Sam. How do you think? Let's rate the government after 6 months. Let's go there. Let's look at good governance, poor governance. Have they been able to accomplish anything? Let's just give a general overview on some of the things we think that they've done good at, and some of the things that they have not done. They've done a very poor job. Let's start with you, Uncle Sam.
Okay, so President Boyka, greatest asset that he brought to the presidency was, you know, people view him as a man of integrity, you know, and they view the previous government as people who have integrity challenges. I mean, let's just be very clear about that. So the whole idea was to rescue the country from, and to use some of your words, looters, people involved in all kinds of shenanigans, and that just was the way it was, right? That was the narrative that won the election. So in getting to that, there was a lot of promises made. It's what I call overpromise. Now, if you look at the promises versus the delivery, it was a lot of overpromising and not enough delivery. And not enough delivering, it means in some of the fundamental things like rule of law. Rule of law is extremely important. When you start transgressing public procurement policies and bringing in 285 machines because you think this is good, but you would transgress the laws of the country, and you haven't, since May 26th, when that announcement was made, up to July 22nd, almost like 2 months, no one, I spoke to people in the legislature on Saturday, no one knew what's going on. I spoke to people in the legislature, in the executive, public works, no one knows what is going on. This is so mysterious, no one knows what is going on, nobody knows what the direction of this. And then you came up with something about 300 buses, the Ayolo buses. You brought them in, you brought them to the executive mansion. Thank God the president had the good common sense not to go and participate in the ceremony with those used buses. Asset recovery. The Liberian people voted you in because they want accountability of people over the last 6 years. What exactly did they do? What exactly did they do? And to recover the assets? You put together a team of Boy Scouts that went in the streets to start taking people's car without doing things like an investigation, like a discovery, no forensic auditors. You didn't bring in like top-notch lawyers, people that can penetrate corporate views to find out where money's went. You didn't do not. You brought in no professional, zero professional. You've done that. And then the fundamental and the most challenging thing for any poor country, hunger. 70% of the people in this city where I live in are hungry every day. I'm not saying solve the food problem right away, but give us some sort of a roadmap that you're going to provide jobs, you're going to give income, and these people are going to feed themselves. You haven't done that. So the people are not seeing any, really distinctive change from the past. So you basically transplanting one group of people for another group of people. But if Fadiga wants to be fair, is that he lives in this town like I do in Dr. Brooklyn. What has fundamentally changed that is visible with your eyeball that you can see from January 22nd to today? That is fundamental, and everybody is clapping about. Okay, so you pave the roads in the Southeast, people cannot go, which is very good, right? But the state challenges with road connectivity. So as far as I'm concerned, you over-promise and you are under-delivering. In the 6 months that you've been in power, you need to rev up the tempo and do something, because if this stays on this trajectory, next year, this time, I think you're going to be seeing some people, there'll be an outpouring of what should I say, objection to the government. That's what I really believe.
So let me ask you, Uncle Sam, you said something that I don't think is a fair statement when you're saying that the Boyka government did not hire competent people. I mean, there are some people that we know that are competent. How can you just make a blanket statement?
I never said competent. I never used the word competent.
You said,
I never said.
Okay, what did you say? What did you say? So I don't misquote you.
No, but no, but I'm saying I never even mentioned anything about competence.
No, you did. You talked about the fact that he hired people who have you talked about it. So that's why I'm asking, because in your statement you said there are people who hired that he has hired who is not competent, who don't know what they're doing. So that's why I'm asking.
I never said that. Go and play, Danny. I think you're hearing voice. I think you're hearing voices.
No, I'm not. So what did you not mention? Okay.
I have not mentioned competence in any of my deliberations.
Okay,
so
what did you say about the people who went out in the streets? You said there are people that went out to get people cars.
Yeah, I said that exactly.
You hired talks.
I said exactly. I said on the asset recovery. I was speaking specifically on asset recovery.
Yeah.
That the asset recovery did not have the team of competent people. Asset recovery, specifically asset recovery. But that's what I was talking about.
But Uncle Sam, you know, I suffice it to say that the asset recovery people may not have been right now. We don't know what they've accomplished. We don't know what they're doing. But you know some of the people that's on that team. How can you sit here and say that they hire? Hold on 1 second now. Let me finish. To say that they have people who are talks who went to grab people's car and they're not competent. Are you saying here that everyone on that asset recovery team, that the people on the asset recovery team are incompetent? Is that what you're saying?
I know only one seriously global competent individual on the asset recovery. That's Alex Coffey. That's it.
So, but then that means your statement is not fair. Your statement is unbalanced, because if you're coming back now,
this is my opinion. Because
okay, I
Alex
get
Coffey
your
has
opinion.
He has the financial training. He's a forensic auditor. Okay, he worked with GMAP and he did some other stuff. There's nobody else on that asset recovery that had that kind of training like Alex Coffey. None of them. Okay.
So I just wanted to, because
so Alex Coffey, I believe, should have headed that. He should have had other global professionals like John Mullu on it and other librarian professionals around the world.
So I just wanted, as we're here.
But what you did, let me name some of them. No.
I want to move to the next.
No, but let me just go to the caliber of people that.
I don't want us to do that. I only wanted to. The reason why I brought that up is because we know, and Alex Coffey was one that I was thinking about when you're saying that the asset recovery team they don't have competent people until you're asked, then you bring no. Hold on.
They don't.
That was what you said.
Only one competent global professional on the asset recovery team. The rest of them are political activists. The rest of them are political activists. The rest of them are political apparatchiks.
On from there.
But that's my opinion. I've seen that Alex Coffey is the only competent librarian professional with the global experience that I know on asset recovery. if you know another person,
now. We
can
can't
name
talk
that
together
person.
now.
Let's examine their credentials.
No. We have to move on. And I thank you for recognizing Alice Coffey. That was the specific reason.
You don't have to thank for that. Alice Coffey and I are very close colleagues.
No, we can't talk together now. We can't talk together.
No, but you don't have to thank me for that.
Well,
because you're patronizing me. You're patronizing me.
Uncle Sam, we have to have order here. Honestly, we can't talk together. So if we're here, we're trying to make sure that this show flows. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. But when we're out here and people are listening to us and we're saying, we know some people on our asset recovery team, like I said, suffice it to say that we may not know what order they've done, but we know that there are competent people on that asset recovery team.
Name some of them who
are
competent in asset recovery. Name some.
We're gonna move on to Fadiga.
No, don't move on.
No, I need to move on. Uncle Sam, we don't know. We have to move on. We want to control on the show. We have to be able to move
individuals that you know.
We have to be able to move on. When you made the statement, you said there were no competent people.
I never said there was no
competent. I said that there was, even if there was one.
They did not have forensic
even
auditors.
If there was one, there was a competent person.
And there was a bunch of incompetent people on the asset recovery.
Let's go on to you. This is we're in 6 months with the government. We're going to look at specifics, but I want us to be able to look at a general outlook of the government so far. How do you think in 6 months, some things they've done well, some things they've not done well? We can look at it from a general perspective, and then we can look at education. We can look at those individual things. Just rate the government after 6 months.
Well, no, not you. Okay. Look, Sis Benny, this government in 6 months, I think the government is doing extremely well compared to the government that just left for power. In 6 months, what was damaged in 6 years, it would take more than even 6 years to complete the level of destruction that was done in this country in the last 6 years. Unfortunately, people like Uncle Sam didn't say anything for the last 6 years. He's talking about that. I will just start with the asset recovery since that was the last thing that were on the floor. Look, when it comes to competence, there's no comparison between this administration and the past administration. Look at the caliber of people that are in the government, education, life experience, anything. You cannot even measure it. The last administration was a complete kakistocracy. They ran the country with one of the, whatever it is. So you can't even compare it. And people like Uncle Sam didn't say anything. But I will say this, in the last 6 months, I'm slowly understanding, look, President Boyka is very meticulous in whatever he does. This shows experience. In the first 100 days, what did he do? He started putting those mechanisms in place for us to be able to move this thing called government. The establishment of the War and Economic Crime Court. This was something that was completely unheard of. Every president, even when we had O'Neill, President Sirleaf Kikeke down the road, George, we have said it, we protested at the United Nations for months. It didn't happen. President Boyka in the first 100 days went straight at it. Uncle Sam, when I see that, agriculture, take agriculture for example. We completed the National Agriculture Development Plan. Look, we need a roadmap. In 6 months, the president has put together a roadmap on where he wants to take the country with the address agenda. You talk about the acquisition of 285 earth moving machines. Before we even get to the earth moving machine, now Senator Zoe Penno, people from the Southeast that did not even vote for this administration, in less than 6 months, they are celebrating that they can go to the Southeast. You do not have to get a laissez-passer or visa to go through the Ivory Coast anymore before coming back to your own country. Our people now are going there. They say, oh, you know what? That doesn't roll with it. But at least our people are going there and not spending 1 week. Those things are driving down prices. It's not me. Those lawmakers. The second thing we did, another thing we decided to do was the payroll audit, payroll and personnel audit to eliminate waste. For too long, we have had ghost name. From baby up to now, we have had people with ghost name on payroll. Nothing has been done about it. The past administration left. They infused, they bloated the payroll with a bunch of partisans and different people so that they can strangulate this government. And instead of President Burka moving forward, say, you know what? Let's see what happened. Those ghost names, it's not even people. They just put names. Those people, some of them doesn't even exist. Some of the people are sitting at home and still getting paid. If we can remove those people, we'll make room for other Liberians, irrespective of their political persuasion. You're talking about education. They say they boast about paying fees and wise fee and all of something. We have scholarship, unpaid scholarship for both local and foreign students. $3.5 million were allocated for that, on top of paying those things. So when you look at the challenges that this government inherited and what we are doing in place, people like Uncle Sen shouldn't even be talking. Just yesterday, the president had a meeting, a teleconference with one of the wealthiest person in the world discussing the role technology will play in Liberia, emphasizing on the importance of internet connectivity. The world runs on the internet. Yes, the president that say he's old, I saw this president. I saw President Burka juggling his iPhone, something that even young people don't even know how to do. He's still thinking about technology, how we can move Liberia towards the 21st century, that we can catch up with the first world. All these things, people don't see it. So when he talks about, look, Sis Glennie, I can go on. Whether in diplomacy, the list of diplomats, different countries that are coming to Liberia, you know, just a few days ago again, he launched a 117.5 million global fund grant to combat HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria.
Glennie, are you watching the
These
Times?
are things.
I am. We'll go to Jackie soon.
These are things that you will not hear in the news.
Okay.
Sis Glennie, I can give you over 100 things that this president have worked on. Some of them, it will take time before the people start trickling down to the people. But this is the process of putting the whole team together.
All right.
Give us 1 year and see what will become a Liberia. But who's saying it when I see the team?
All right, let's move on to
If
Jackie.
you ask me how much I agree the government, at this point, I think we are 90%.
90% for you. I'm gonna say you didn't rate the government though.
Because you didn't give me a chance to talk.
No, you were finished. You were done, and I asked you questions.
You interrupted me.
No. Let's be truthful. No, you were done. Let's not talk together so we can understand one another. And let's be fair, the people are also watching. You were clearly done. So and when we were about to go to Fadiga was when I asked you a question. So you were done. So I will give you an opportunity. Jackie, welcome. I'm going to give you an opportunity to read the government and then we'll go to Jackie.
Then I'll speak. I'll let Jackie speak. Let her speak.
So you don't want to read the government again?
No, I will let Jackie speak. Then when I get my turn, and then I'll say what I need to say.
All right, Jackie, welcome. We're talking about 6 months today for the UP government. We're just looking at, in general terms, how do we think the government have performed? Want us to look at it generally, and then we'll look at some specific issues as it relates to health, education, and those other things. So, you look beautiful, by the way. I love your pink.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much, and hello to the panelists, and hello to the many Liberians who are in Liberia and in the diaspora watching this program today. I'm glad to be on the show today. Haven't been on in a while. And I see that the discussion right now is about how the Unity Party-led government is doing so far given that today is the 6-month anniversary since Joseph Boyka was inaugurated as President of the Republic of Liberia. What I will say is this. The president came in ready to lead from day one because he already had his arrest agenda that was already put together and developed before he was way before he even became president. And so he was ready for day one. And that's something that we should applaud this president for. His predecessor, it took them 9 months to a year to develop a vision and the agenda for the country under the banner of the PAPD. Now, the president, Joseph Boyka, has the arrest agenda, of course, which we all know is for agriculture, rule of law, road, education, and health and sanitation and tourism. So what has he done over the last 6 months? I would say he has done a lot of stuff, given this short period of time. The president walked into the door, setting up a committee to address a crisis that was in the country, which is the situation with the youth and the drugs. He set up that special committee and made that priority from day one. That committee is still in place. And as we can see, a lot of progress has been made. There has been focused progress with the LDEA as well, whereas previous administration, you didn't see as much visibility with the LDEA in the community, busting drug situations and stuff like that that's going on. So we should first applaud the president for that. And the next thing is the road. The president was serious in 2017 when he was a presidential candidate, saying that roads will be his top 3 priority. And we can see now the Sanikole Road, the Lofa Road, the roads in the southeast, Grand Jidit. When you listen to the average person out there, they are saying that the cost for transportation from one county to the next is even cheaper. It's dropping down because the roads are not as bad as they used to be. If you go throughout the counties, you are seeing machines, right? Moving machines that are out there. You are seeing public works. Staff, employees who are doing that, either doing assessment on the roads. They have contractors that are there doing assessment. They are looking at the road work. They have machines there grading the road. This is rainy season in Liberia, and people are bragging. And when I say people, I mean the average people. I'm not talking about government employees or the elites. I'm talking about the average people out there. They are happy that the President Boyka is living up to his promise under the arrest agenda to make the lives of the Liberian people much better. Is it going to take time? Yeah, it's going to take time. He cannot accomplish everything in 1 day, 1 month, or even 6 months. But right now, the people are seeing the huge success made thus far. So when we move on to the roads, from the southeast to the east to the west, you're beginning to see progress all over the place, from feeder roads to the rural roads in the counties, the major highways. You've seen even road work maintenance being done under this president within just 6 months period. That's something to applaud him for. The youth development and the drug situation, youth rehabilitation. This other thing I mentioned. We listened to the Minister of Education last week when she gave a press briefing. And she said education in Liberia will not be like it was before. She is taking education, the education system, to a new higher heights that we have not seen before. She gave that, and she made that promise to the president because this is what the president wants. This is his vision. When he put that E in the arrest acronym for his arrest agenda, he was serious about education in the country. And therefore, we see the education minister speaking about that and say education now in Liberia, it will be taken to a new higher heights that we have never seen before. So we're looking forward to that. In terms of the commerce in the country,
I want us to because I want us to be able to give the listeners chance to call in. Nelson, if you're there, If you can
But
come on.
can I finish quickly?
Okay,
Can you
when
give
you
me
finish,
one more
and when
minute?
you no, I'm just saying because we're watching the time. When you're done, you can complete what you're doing, and we'll go to Uncle Sin, and then there's Nelson can come on, so we can take some calls. Go ahead, Jackie.
Okay, so as far as also this sanitation and health part of his arrest agenda, you see the streets are much cleaner than they were under the George Weah-led government. That is a fact, even though there are still challenges out there. But you see, even when the president was not even president, when he was inaugurated, his priority was to make sure we have clean streets, and he set up the inaugural cleanup campaign. We saw the magic that that team did over a 6-week period before the inauguration, and his people are living up to that now, despite there are still some challenges right now. What else is the president doing? The health sector. You see the health, he has a minister who is very visible out there, Dr. Poto, who is clear on her agenda as well, taking tours around the different counties, addressing the situation of maternal and neonatal health, which has been a health crisis in Liberia, and there are mechanisms being put in place now when it comes to reproductive health, when it comes to dealing with the situation of babies being born at health risk, and those are the things that are being dealt with. The rice, the gas. The president reduced the price of gas. He set up a special rice committee to deal with the rice situation. And what is also very
So
important.
when you list all those things, then we won't be able to go to them individually. We just wanted you to give a quick overview, a general quick overview, because we wanted to be able to.
Okay, well, that's
I got two more very important one.
No. That Jackie, I want Jackie to please summarize. Come to the conclusion of what you're saying, so then we can.
Okay, so just in a nutshell to conclude, President Joseph Newman Boyka, under his arrest agenda, is doing very, very well right now within a very short time that he has been president, and there's no telling what else he's going to do over the next year to the next 6 years. So Liberians, get ready for a brand new change in Liberia.
So you're rating the government at what percentage? 6 months.
For the 6-month period, I gave the government an A.
Okay. You and Fadiga. Fadiga will give you, because I want Uncle Sam to be able to.
I mean, I need to respond.
Hold on one second. Uncle Sam, go ahead. That I was just telling.
Okay, so listen, folks.
Uncle Sam, I was just telling Fadiga to give you time to talk, and then we'll come to him. So go ahead.
So, but if he wants to talk and dominate and tell a bunch of stories to the people, I mean, continue.
Uncle Sam, we gave you
please go ahead. We're not going here.
Continue your fairy tale.
Telling the good deeds that this president has done.
Okay, but if you want, to me, I'm listening. This is Alice in Wonderland. I'm listening to. This is Cinderella story. I'm listening to.
Uncle Sam, go ahead.
If you want to continue the Cinderella story, and you want the Alice in Wonderland story, and you want to put people to sleep, go ahead and keep telling them all those things that you are machinating and you're making up. But the reality
go ahead and speak, please.
But listen to me. Look, first of all, the arrest agenda is a manifesto of the Unity Party. It's not a national development agenda. That's the first thing. Okay. And the CDC had a manifesto and transformed that into the PAPD 7 months into the administration. Let's just be very clear about that.
That's not correct. They didn't have an agenda.
Let him speak. And then we can. If you want to counteract it, we'll do it after.
Okay. You're talking about the war on drugs. When there was a fight at the OK Corral at the DEA. War on drugs. That's a war on each other. They were fighting each other. You forgot that? You forgot about the problems at the Bureau of Concession? The questionnaire fight at the Bureau of Concession? You forgot that? You forgot the fight at NOCAL between the chairman and the chief executive officer? You forgot that? You forgot that they before the government even took power, okay, the illegal and misapplication of funds when they wrote letter on Grispy's signature to get 5 cars, you forgot about that. You forgot about the increase in the price of rice. You forgot about that? What is this? This is a fantasy show now, La La Land, Alice in Wonderland. This is not Alice in Wonderland. This is the reality. The reality is on the streets of this country, just before this 26, this is 4 days before 26, the people are hungry. You haven't substantially dealt with the issue of hunger. The people are seeing and they refrain on the streets in the city of Monrovia and other parts of the country that these people did not come to rescue us. They came to rescue their pockets. That's the refrain out there. That's the Liberian people are saying. You brought 285 machines and we don't know how much they cost. Who is his unknown friend, a president, to write a letter to fall on the sword instead of the offending officials who brought the machines in, and the president fell on the sword because they were asked to come and provide explanation to the legislature, and the president wrote the letter to quash the subpoena. And you tell me you're reading this government in aid? Come on, guys. This is not La La Land. This is not Alice in Wonderland. This is not Hansel and Gretel, Jack in jail. This is a country where 70% of the people in this town live in slums. What have you done about the slum communities in this country? Environmental degradation. Have you even begun to deal with environmental degradation in the slum communities here? Have you begun to the problem of what? Of hunger? Come on, guys, stop it. This is not Alice in Wonderland. This is not Hansel and Gretel. This is not Cinderella. This is, you're talking about Liberia, 5.2 million people. They haven't seen any substantial change since January 22nd. And that is the reality. I rest on that.
Thank you, Uncle Sam. Fadiga will go to you, but hold on. Nelson, can you come on so we can take a few calls? Go ahead, Fadiga.
Well, Uncle Sam, it is unfortunate that
But can I respond to him too?
Yeah. It is unfortunate.
When Fadiga is done, Jackie,
that you will see to have a bad relationship with the truth in the midst of Liberian people celebrating in 6 months' time just roads. Look at road, for example. Something that, look, Uncle Sam, I will give you a few more pointers that you will take away. We will probably, I hope it doesn't carry your pressure up.
Let's hear more fantasy story. Let's go ahead. I'm ready. I'm ready for more. I need a lullaby. Give me a lullaby.
One of the things you keep talking about is decentralization, and one of the things that one of the key issues that this president has taken over that I admire so much. In the first 6 months, the president has proposed 3 legislative, 3 key bills: the Presidential Transitional Act, the bill for the establishment of the Ministry of Local Government, and the National Tourism Bill. Never in the history of this country. Let me tell you something. How would that help us? That would diversify our economy. We'll move from this whole mining and golding and something and start doing into where other countries are making money. Tourism. It will not just worse. It is now going indeed. Just few days ago, the president had a first interministerial meeting at the ministerial complex. They talk about revenue, the establishment of the Ministry of Local Government. You're talking about Revenue Sharing Act, where the counties will start benefiting. Look, one of the success of America and most of the something is that they say all politics is local. Everything is not concentrated in Washington. That the counties will have the right to self-determination will be able to run their own strong local government, so that Monrovia doesn't call the shot. These basic things put in place. Look, it takes someone with experience, lengthy experience in government, to be able to put in it. Are the people feeding everything now? No. Is it trickling down? No. But we are on the roadmap. Every good plan begins with a roadmap. The president have laid the roadmap for prosperity and development. And that's the road we are on. For you to come here and say that, oh, nothing, the people hungry, How many people have been hungry? Even during the war, people were hungry. After the war, the last 6 years, people were hungry. But at least our people are not living in fear. They are not disappearing mysteriously. They are not worried that if they criticize the president, they will cut a speech for them and things will happen to them. Auditors are not getting missing. A lot of things have changed. So our people, that's why they will buy oil and say, rice price has not increased. I go to the market myself. Rice price have, show me one person that will say rice price have increased. We're in the southeast, rice price have gone down. So if you guys, one of the myths is for you guys to believe that, oh, you'll lie your way into power. You cannot lie your way back to power. You will have to do something. You will have to show remorse. You will have to beg the Liberian people for forgiveness for abusing them for the last 6 years. So you cannot come here and say, oh my God, the people are living their reality. You cannot lie on the reality. When you go to Maryland, you go to the southeast right now, people with a small little sour Tessie, they can drive here and go there. You don't need 4x4 car. That is a reality. You cannot put a spin on.
All right, Fadi. Jackie, you wanna add Nelson if you're on? Can you come on, Nelson, so we can take a few calls? Go ahead, Jackie. You wanted to respond?
Okay, thank you. So first of all, for Mr. Jackson to say that what we are stating here about the accomplishment of the president in the last 6 months is fantasy. I don't know what world he's living in, because obviously he was living in the fantasy world under the we are 6 years. We have categorically outlined and stated one by one what President Boyka has done over the last 6 years. And these are facts. It's on the books. There's nothing here that we're creating that's not true or delusional or fake. It's not fake news, Mr. Jackson. It's all real. It's all true. Are there challenges? Is there more work to be done? Definitely. The president has not even started yet the real work. He's just scratching the surface within the first 6 months. And that's why I gave him an A, because he has accomplished a whole lot. If we want to compare the first 6 months of we are Nathaniel McGill and his same twin, and they were building homes. They were building buildings, private buildings for their own personal aggrandizement. Joseph Boyka started from day one with an agenda. When we came in, there was no agenda. And you know very well that proper agenda was put together over first 6 to 9 months while they were building their own private homes for their own personal gain. And you do not see that today in this government. You also, as Fadika stated, they place Liberia, for the most part, commerce now is running 24/7. 9 months ago, people were shutting down their shops at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, going home because they were afraid. So the market now is expanding, it's opening up, and people are making more money and taking more money home to their families, even though, there are still challenges that we got to deal with because of the mismanagement and poor governance over the last six years of the CDC government.
Thank you. Thank you, Jackie. Nelson, thank you for coming on. Want to be able to take some calls so the people in Liberia to tell us what is their impression on the government in the last 6 months. So we'll take a few calls from the states from outside of Liberia, but let's do at least 10 calls from the people in Liberia. You want to put a number up for them so that we can hear how they can rate this government so far.
Okay, so 0555-101075 is the number to call. I'm putting the WhatsApp up as well. So let's take the first person. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, you are live. Go ahead. Your name and where you calling from?
This is Alvin Yukato from the Broadway.
Okay.
You see, my brother, there can be nothing that you can convince the detractors of. These people are bent on sharing negative things only for people to think that they can go in line with what they think. Something that you took more than 6 years to be destroyed cannot be in 6 months. We are on a trajectory. The road is smooth and the train is moving. There are Ronaldos and Messi
or on the screen, but sitting on the side to see what things happen there.
Thank you
So let
very
the people
much.
keep talking.
Let's hold you there and take another person. Hello.
Hello, Nelson. Hello, Nelson.
Yeah, please go ahead quickly. Let's hear you.
Thank you so much. My strong family, there's a Paco calling from Fiamma.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the topic. Thank you, no, Uncle Johnson. Please be fair with us. We have family in the country. They come, the park come, and that's all of us who say your small Lord, our parents. What the other time today? The president, the park, Uncle Johnson. Be fair with the Liberia people. They come and kill all the other time. Today, before in running for Broad Street, came to family today, Joe Pataki, and transform the country. Give flower to him, and we beg you, Uncle Johnson.
Thank you very much, Paco.
Don't family who are, you know, that today we can't find so for help. Why here, Uncle Johnson?
Thank you.
Fair. The people talk about best for around here. So you want to order the people to job to audit, and you are audit. Thank you.
Thank you, Paco. Hello. There is a feedback from here, so we'll take this person. Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead. Let's hear you. There's a feedback coming from you. I don't know. Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, we'll have to let you go. So let's take this person. Hello. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello, my name is Val. I'm calling you from Canada.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, so from my end, I would love to commend President Joseph Boakai and his team. They've done tremendously well. At this time, 6 years in Georgia government, 7 years ago, 6 years ago, it was terrible. Georgia was building condominiums and what have you. And then I also want to say a few things about how Yeke Koluba has been carrying on. You know, the elders and senior persons.
We want to focus on the
Okay, so hello. Okay, so the focus is on the performance, the 6 months performance of this administration. Yeah. So yeah. Hello. Please go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Paul Foreman, calling from Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my brother want to look at Sam Jackson sometime you wonder. But you know why? Sam Jackson is right. You know, Uncle Sam is in Liberia right now living in peace. Because Uncle Sam told that Uncle Boy going to be the job we have for man. But believe me, Uncle Sam, saying he can't then yet and they enjoy his life. Uncle Sam, look, at this time, 2017, you couldn't go graduate there from Lima County. Close. You know, whenever you defeat yourself to get victory and stuff, you have to go contract your own way, and that's what happened to Uncle Sam today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This person, hello.
Hello, this
Yes?
is Mr. Bishop Standard.
Go ahead, let's hear you, sir.
Yes, I'm very thankful to God for this government. You know, when I hear Uncle Sam and I say do, you know, I can think I want them to come and live in Liberia. Let them see the changes that are going on. But when they see America, you know, they eat all kinds of
Okay, thank you very much. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead. Let's hear you quickly.
Okay, this is your call.
Go ahead.
My brother, how can you? You're on the radio station there, brother. You're going to give privilege to the people to come and make me like
Can you give your impression of this government 6 months?
Okay, my impression of this government, I can say, son, and they saw Eastern people congrats the government. Those that vote for him, praise today in the council like Bro one. That will be very important. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello. Hello. Okay, this person. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, we are live.
Means Abbas Manappointum called it from in City.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, sometimes I feel so hard disenchanted when it's talk when people discussing Bwanka government. It is the worst thing that ever experienced in history. It's so much disgusting that we found the kind of government. It is not fine. So pretty much sugar coated that everything is fine like Liberia.
Thank you.
People go to bed hungry on a daily basis. So that's everything fine.
Thank you very much for your input tonight. Are we taking more calls?
Let's take 2 more calls.
Okay. So I go back to the local line.
Oh, you won't call the calls on now because the person and I in charge, but I go, man.
I know, Uncle Sam, we're taking calls.
So you want to call the people now? The real people calling now. So you want to
okay, let the real people call. Let the real people call.
No. Stop distracting the show, man.
Yeah, distracting the show.
No, you're distracting the show. We're taking calls. You need to stop that.
Okay, Kafuma, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, calling from Broadville.
Yeah, go ahead.
We thought the papi, thank you for working to me in 6 months time. Because our one succeedation, but the way in which we put them in power, they treated or we're not fair with us. So I decided to vote for Unity Party to see. Because we the people we are thinking now that when we put anyone in power, if you not do anything for us, we change you. That the motive we get now. But we commend the party in the 6 months for what he's doing with them. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, let's hear you.
My name is Anthony Dennis, calling from New Georgia.
Go ahead, Mr. Dennis.
The 6 months of George Manuel we are government of also this government. I will give George Manuel we are 90% and give the government 0% because everything they have done, they tell the people must go all over the country so much with all of 22 million. So nothing good to see they have done.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you, Big Brother Nelson. My name is N. Patrick Bella, and I speak to you from Painesville.
Okay.
So, Big Brother Nelson, let me appreciate President Joseph Imam Bouaka for this 6 years. By this time, under President we were just breaking ground. This is why you see the flood is all over the place and building condominium for himself, not even thinking about the people of Liberia. So today we have a president that is thinking about the people. You can see the folks from the southeastern now are jubilating. The people are celebrating. So why would somebody come here want to, just give the people rhetoric and just feel because Liberians are people you can just come and play on? You're not going to take that thing again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Should we take the last one?
We can take the last call.
Hello. Okay. Hello, you are the last caller. Please go ahead, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Larry B. Jackson.
Okay.
I want to thank Joseph Imam Bouaka for his good work. Those that discover you in that mob, let it continue to do it. But we know that I will vote for him. I want to position myself. I voted for 2 times. But he was just never making from place to place. And at the end of the day, we knew that he couldn't make it. But we couldn't do anything. But we waited for time at least they start to change him. But I commend Joseph Imam Bouaka and I commend Spoon Radio today. At least they're very standing to educate Liberians and in which you're doing the world blessed radio station by God's grace.
Thank you
and
very much.
I thank you so much. What I have to say.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, Nelson. So I want to ask one before we close. I wanted to let's look at the 3 branches of government under the Joseph Imam Bouaka and under President Weah. Is there any comparison as it relates to their functions? When we look at George, we are the 3 branches, and we look at the 3 branches now, 6 months in Bouaka government. What can we attribute to their functioning? Good, bad, doing nothing, have done something? Let's talk about the 3 branches of government. And then I want us to look at specifically the health sector under the Joseph Imam Bouaka government, and then we can do our closing. Jackie, we'll start with you.
Okay, so we're comparing the 3 branches of government under Weah and JMB and under Bouaka. Well, of course, as we all know, Liberia has 3 equal but separate branches of government: the judiciary, the legislature, and the executive branch. What I would say is that the president is the president of any country, and he's the leader. He sets the tone in the country. We are Joe Boyka, and this is a fact, Sam Jackson. Joe Boyka has held more meetings with his cabinet members in 6 months than we are held in 6 years. We are barely used to go to work, the executive branch. So if he's barely working, if the executive branch is barely working, that means there's less work for the judiciary to implement, to carry out. There's less work for the legislature to carry out. So now you have a president who's in office, who was ready from day one, who goes to work every day, work for at least 9 to 10 hours every single day, and dealing with the different issues on behalf of the Liberian people. This is giving the other 2 branches of government more work to do. You can see now that, of course, for the past several years, you have video where there are, when the Senate and the House of Representatives on the floor debating issues, you do see more transparency when it comes to discussing issues, and issues where people feel that there should be more accountability on the legislature side. You see that too. It's very, very visible. You see legislatures rolling back their tune, saying, okay, we did this wrong, but we're going to try to correct it. The system is not perfect. There's a lot of work that we have to do. There's no doubt about it. But right now, the 3 branches of government are working more because the president sets the tune. They're working more than they did in the last 6 years of We Are Government, because for him, government was at the Jamaican resort, where they were partying, they were dancing, buka dancing, and there were people doing recording. JMB is addressing the various issues of the youth, education, the health sector, tourism, the road situation, and you see bills that are being looked into right now to pass certain things into law so that the government, the executive branch of government, can go ahead and implement those things on behalf of the Liberian government.
Thank you, Jackie.
And the issue, one last stuff I forgot, the issue of accountability, which is why one of the main mandate, because the Liberian people gave this government 3 mandates: issue of accountability, peace and security, and of course to turn the economic situation around, which you can see the peace and security, people are moving around more freely, although crime, we still have to work on that, but there has been some improvement. You see Gregory Coleman, 100, coming out, speaking more to the people about what he's going to be doing. You see even the issue with the accidents and the motorcyclists, that's been addressed, because a lot of the motorcyclists were having accidents. They were all over the place. We are trying to address their concerns, as well as keeping them safe and keeping the other vehicles out there safe as well. So the issue of road safety is being addressed as well under this government. But in a nutshell, you can clearly see the difference where that people are working more under this government than they did under the last 6 years of We Are presidency.
Uncle Sam, 3 branches of government in the last 2 governments.
Well, I'm going to look at the economic sectors, okay, and if you allow me to, okay. And I don't know where you can see this, the Liberian people, but this is a headline from a Front Page Africa, and what a headline basically says is while the economy is sluggish and while the people are having the worst off 26 this year than they had last year. Don't take my word for it. This is Front Page, July 22nd, today. It says here, while the economy is sluggish, bread and butter issue. Don't confuse activity with results. You can be doing a lot, but what are you achieving that is consequential for the ordinary people? That's why the people in Gay Town, where I live, that's what they're telling me. That's what the people in New Jersey, where I was on Saturday, that's what they're telling me. The people in Mount Barkley, that's what they're telling me. They're not on the Ivory Tower show here, and they have a select few colors here, and to say they have things are rosy in Liberia people are not stupid. Everything that you said that you was going to change, you haven't changed nothing. You said you're going to remove MedTech, you're going to take out CTN, because these are people who were obstructing the international trade. You haven't done that. You said East International, West African Construction, SSF, these are all bad companies, but you gave them contracts to fix the road. That's what you said. You said people were breaking laws in procurement. And your first major act is to bring in 285 yellow machines from an unknown friend, from an unknown destination, with an unknown amount, with no project plan. 2 months after you made the announcement, we don't know whether the machines are bought, whether they are stolen, whether there's a gift. We know nothing about it. Zero. Go to John F. Kennedy Hospital today and ask the patients whether things have significantly improved since January 22nd. Go to Nukuta. Go to Douala Market and ask about the people about prices. And you say rice price has decreased, rice price has increased. What have you fundamentally changed for the Liberian people? What have you fundamentally changed? You can't give me any number. How many jobs have you created in the private sector in 6 months that you can point to and say, these are jobs that we created? You can't. You don't have the statistic. You can't even give me the crime statistics. What's the level of crime that you met, and what has been the reduction? You can't. That's not how you function. You function in storytelling, in making up a lot of things, and it sounds good because you guys are highly educated. So it sounds good, but as we say, in Brooklyn, this is mostly unadulterated poppycock. The Liberian people are not fooled. They see that you have not done anything substantial to improve their lives in the last 6 months. And on that note, I just want them to go to this picture, front page, July 22nd, 2024, sluggish economy, and the people are having you want to go back to the call and ask the people whether they're having a good 26? Let them tell you whether they're having a good 26. Let them tell you whether this 26 this year is better than the one last year. Ask them. Don't concoct stories and make up stories and come tell people that things are better because you've been in power for 6 months, you've done so much. You haven't. You may, but you haven't started. You haven't begun to scratch the surface of the challenges and problems in this country. That's why the people say you overpromise and you are under delivering. I rest.
So one thing I want to say here, and I want to appreciate the viewers, the people that watch Spoon TV, the Liberians out there that are watching, they're able to deduce between two governments. They're able to look at what the We Are government did under 6 years, and they're also capable of looking at 6 months. So nothing I say or nothing Uncle Sam say, no narrative can change what they've experienced and what they've been through. So we can come and say, okay, we can look at several different newspapers with the headings. That's what newspaper is supposed to do. They investigate, they put out their story, and people can follow it or people can believe it. But I also the reason why I'm saying that is the people that called were not selected. So when we say a select few, that's not correct. It was not planned. We asked Nelson to do the calls, to get people to call. So no one was selected that made the call. But Liberians, this is where you should continue to speak out. No one should silence you, because there will still be people like Uncle Sam who will try to act or try to make it seem like no government was better than the government he supported. And it's upon you to be able to see the truth and to be able to speak your narrative based on what your experience is. That's what I want to encourage you all to do. Fadiga, what do you have to say with the two governments, the three branches of government and their functioning?
Well, Uncle Shane has a very bad relationship with the troops, so we can forgive him on that. But I will say this: the Liberian people are not stupid. They may have a blurry vision of what happened 12 years ago, but 6 years ago is still fresh in the mind, on their mind. They have not forgotten the death of auditors. They have not forgotten the looting of the country. They have not forgotten the building of multiple condominiums. They have not forgotten a lot of stuff. So the 26 will be great. But I will start with this, with the legislature. One of the things that I've seen different, the ascendancy of President Boyka to the Oval Office brought a lot of changes. Not only did we see a lot of bad actors from the CDC, like the Buffer Chimmer, a lot of those guys, a lot of them were booted out of office. So they are not in office anymore. They are Carlos Gray, that was online. A lot of them, they didn't come back. So the rescue government will usher in with new group of people that the people said that. So we won on different fronts. The Liberian people, I would say, won on in the legislature as well. We've seen a more robust, a more transparent. Let's take the Senate for example. Under the leadership of Yomdi Kanga, Senator Yomdi Kanga, we've seen more transparency. We've seen the different committees more vocal. We've seen a lot of those public hearing, the people getting an insight with Spoon and everything that we do here on a daily basis. The people getting an insight into what is going on. Unlike previous administration, in the where Buffer Chimmer, everybody say, "Oh hail the Messiah." Those guys were able to remove or assisting Associate Justice Cabinet Janet from on a bogus arrangement. You don't see that happening, and that almost impossible to happen on this new arrangement. So it shows that the new wave, of elected official, the new mindset. We can give credit to the current president for that, because the revolution that brought in this government made a lot of changes as well on that front. Secondly, I'm not saying everything is pitch perfect in the legislature, but I'm saying that at least the people are seeing some transformation. It's not just solely partisan. Even as much as we have Fonati Kofa and the guy there, most of the things that have come out of the House of Representatives have been a little balanced, we can say, for the most part. The judiciary, we have not heard a lot about them, but the fact that we can even be talking about auditing the judiciary, the mere mention of holding people accountable under this government, we've never seen it before. These are areas, even the legislature, these are areas that nobody has even thought about auditing, in the past. The fact that, we got CNN, people talking, it shows that the government is actually on the track of working for the people. For the executive, you know that I've already said a lot of things that they have done. The president have done a lot of good things. He was just in Korea. They signed several memoranda of understanding with Korean companies to improve agriculture, energy, and water supply. A lot of good things came from Korea. Look, one of the things that Jackie said that is profound. This man that they say he got battery, he can sleep. How is it? Look, I live not far from the executive mansion here. This man leaves from work every day at 7:30, whereas the young full-body president never spent 2 hours at that place. He was jolly at the this old man goes to work in the morning. By 10 a.m., President Boyka is at the Oval Office. He leaves from there now 8, 9, sometimes 10 in the night to go home and still receive people there. Never any working for this country, where we had a young president that for months, days, to the point that the thing got so, the man got so emboldened that he left this country for 48 days. Where we have seen that thing? Where? He said, Ali Tubman said Tubman was saying he went in the place that the man said nothing happened to the ball. Nothing. Oh no more Tony. He went to watch his son playing soccer, went to enjoy himself at the expense of taxpayer. If that is not inhumane, if that is not one of the most cruelty any man can do for the country, the man left the country. Uncle said run away. I even started, he run away. Uncle said run away. He run away for the show. Let me tell you something. He will have to be back because he cannot stand it. He himself, Uncle said, no. So we have this elderly state man that is working 3 times more than this the young president. And then he won't say he will not succeed. This man doesn't sleep for Liberia. Day in, day out. When I was in the town, we are sometimes you see him 10 o'clock, sometimes you do better see him. Everybody go to Jamaica Resort. Resort.
Okay, let's.
You want to compare the thing. I think we have restored responsible governance. The people now are seeing how government actually work. The caliber of people, the dedication to service, we are seeing it. And I know that just in 6 months, give us 3 years, come back and give us a rating. But better than 6 months.
Thank you, Fadiga. As we go around, let's go around and do our closing. But in your closing, I want you to be able to comment on the health sector in Liberia. As in, I don't know if you have first-hand information on what's happening. I have an interest in the health sector in Liberia because I've lost quite a few people, including my dad, because of the poor facilities or the poor health system in Liberia. So I want us to just, as we're doing our closing, let's talk about it a little bit. Let's talk about some of the things that we're hearing. I know the other day, Luke Bauer were talking. There was an article out there where he talked about the medications and people. I think WHO was warning people to make sure when you purchase medication, you should make sure that they have the name, the expiration, and the manufacturing on there. That was quite alarming and quite concerning. And they're saying all of the drugs that are in Liberia, most of the drugs, according to the article, are donated drugs that are there. So I want us to talk a little bit as we come to the end of this edition of Spoon TV. I want to talk about what do we envisage our health care system to look like in Liberia? Are we trending in the right direction, or are we still stagnant from where we were before? Uncle Sen, I'll go to you, and then we'll go to Jackie, and then Fadiga, and I'll close us. Please do your closing too as you complete.
Yeah. Look, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, colleagues, look, the poverty that exists in Liberia is abject, it's extreme, it's debilitating. It doesn't require words, fancy phrases, and haphazard approaches. It does not. It requires a radical approach. And the people who voted for President Joe Boyka believe the narrative of the rescue train that they were going to be rescued. They really believe it. On that Sunday, at the opening of the Unity Party campaign launch, when those people stood in that, feces-infested rainwater and voted this man, they believe that their lives will begin to change. Their lives will begin to change. Their lives are not beginning to change. They can't tell me, and none of you on this platform can tell me that the lives of the Liberian people are beginning to change. You can tell me some activities that you went to. You went to Korea, you signed some agreements, you went to some other place, you bring in 285 yellow machines out of the public procurement thing, you're violating the law. You went to Ghana, you brought some used buses from the Fanti people, 2 buses, you put them on the veranda of the executive mansion. You try to bring the old man, he refused. You're doing all these things. But what is the fundamental things that you're supposed to do? Like putting more oxygen machines in hospitals. How many oxygen machines have you brought since you came to power? My auntie went to one hospital a few days ago. There was no oxygen machine for her. Those are the fundamental things that you should be talking about. Okay? What are you doing about putting together a veritable plan to attract private capital, investment in the private sector to create jobs, value chain? You're not doing none of those. What are you doing to recover the assets, the stolen assets that you vaunted that you are going to recover? What are you doing? The asset recovery, dead on arrival, they don't even see you. LSCC, indictments. What are you referring cases to Justice Ministry? This is your 7th month. Not one indictment has come out. What are you doing? What are you really doing? You think you can sit on a veranda or some platform and tell the Liberian people you're making all this progress and they hear those nice words? This is not an election campaign. This is about governing. You can lie your way to power, but you cannot lie your way to sustaining that power. That is where you are. And that's where the Liberian people are gradually separating from the rescue train. Because see, the rescue train is not going any place. It's stuck in neutral. It's stuck in neutral. You think Spoon is the only radio station in the country? Listen to the radio stations in the country and look at the newspaper headlines in Monrovia and in other parts of Liberia. Fadiga, you live in Monrovia. You listen to the radio, and the people telling you on the radio that they are happy, that they are not hungry, that everything is rosy. Is that what you hear every day when you tell your Bella Casa, wherever you stay? Is that what they're telling you? Listen to the radio station in this morning. There are many radio stations here, and the people are expressing righteous indignation because they felt they were lied to. They felt that the people came to rescue their pockets. They did not come to rescue them. That perception is germinating. If that perception germinates and it sticks into the minds of people, we're in for a long haul. Let me tell you something. You don't have 5 years, because by 2027 and 2027, if people don't see the direction and they don't see some benefits of the rescue train, forget about it. Forget about it. That's all I have to say. I'm not trying to make enemies. I'm just trying to say the truth. That's what I'm known for, to say the truth. And I say that, and you said that I did not, and Fadiga, you said I didn't criticize George Weah. For the first 3 years of the Weah administration, I was the most vocal critic. And you and I, we condemned the Eton deal, the Iboma deal. It was only in June of 2021, after the disintegration of the CPP, when they put Alexander Cummings on the bench, that's when I said, forget about CPP. I will go to people who are governing and let me see how I can coordinate with them and help them to remain in power, because these other people are not serious. That's when I made that.
Was that when Cummings only gave you $100 and you got mad?
Of course, I got pissed for it. Only gave me $100.
Let's continue.
Of course, I got pissed.
Are you done with your closing, Uncle Sam?
You asked me that question. Yeah. I grew up with you. You are multi-millionaire. I go visit you. I come in from cancer bed. And you take out, even out your own money. You take out your little piece of $100 and put it in my hand. If it was the reverse, I would do significantly more than that. Yeah, so I mean, I was righteously indignated because I mean, you are multi-millionaire. Your friend, your friend who you grew up with, coming from cancer bed.
No, Mr. Cummings is not on the show to defend himself.
No, but he talk about it. He talk about it.
Yeah, well,
no, but I want us to move on. Cummings asking why you want to give it.
I want us to move on from that topic. Mr. Cummings not here to defend himself.
African communalism. Let me finish. African communalism. It is a village. We all live in the village, and we all support each other. That's what we Africans do. We support each other. When one person is better than the other person, they help the other people. And that's why he only got 1% of the votes.
Thank you.
On that note, I close.
I wanna stress here that Mr. Cummings is not on the show to defend himself. I don't know the story that Uncle Sam is talking about. There could be a lot of interpretation. Did you go to visit for him to give you money? Why did he give you money? All of those things. But let's leave that topic until. If Mr. Cummings is here, we're asking about that. But in all fairness, I don't think it's fair.
But you can call him. You got your number.
Jackie, you want to go to you and to do your comments on the health sector and then do your closing. Welcome, Fatima.
Oh, Uncle Sam is so interesting. He makes us laugh all the time. And the $100. We'll ask Cummings that story one day. He said he coming for a cancer there. Oh my God. Okay. Mr. Jackson, you are so funny. The health sector in Liberia.
You would have given me more money than that, Jackie. You would have given me more money.
I agree with you on that note. Okay. The health, Liberia health. I don't know how to even start coming from Sam Jackson.
Nobody got brother trouble yet.
Let Fatima talk. Let me finish my laugh first.
Fatima, welcome. We've touched on different things. Thank you for joining us.
Baby. How you doing, Mama?
We're talking about.
Fatima,
your business.
We're talking about rating the government in the 6 months. What are some of the things you think the government have done well? How would you rate them? And then we have just come to our closing, so we'll give you an opportunity to talk about what do you think the government have done in the last 6 months and how they've performed.
Hi to all of the panelists, and I think you guys know I will have to also greet the viewers across the globe. Sorry that I'm late. No disrespect, but you know the hustle is on. People gotta work. But I was just driving and listening to Uncle Sam, and I was just getting mad and madder and madder. And I had to I swear, and I just had to come and just check my own uncle. I mean, it's all love though, but I think the government is on its way. Okay, I'm not gonna say that everything that's happening is 100%, but if you're reading from the 6 months of the previous government to now, this government is on its way to prosperity. Things are falling in line, things are falling in place. This one, I'm sure we've heard over and over, Uncle Sam said there's a bunch of old people that's running the government, they should give them time. So he will sit this one out and he will look at it and he will see that this old man would put foot soldiers in place that will push the agenda of the Liberian people, which is for us to think Liberia, to love our country, and together build our country. No amount of, criticism coming from, people who always think that Liberia, I want to do Uncle Sam wrote a post and I actually had to comment on it. He said Liberians are stupid. We are stupid people. Look at me, I look stupid. I don't look stupid. None of these women on this platform look stupid. No, including even you, Uncle Sam. Liberians are not stupid people. We've been through a lot. We've been through war. We've been through all kinds of things, but yet we rise. Our country is on its way. Joseph Numa Boakai, an old statesman, will put together a team of people who will move our agenda for our country forward. Who does not every day would hear you talking about the yellow machine. The yellow machine is here to stay. Whatever errors happen while we were bringing the yellow machine to the country, you're sorry. But who don't want development in our country? Who don't want good road? Who don't want to take? I heard Zopena talking, and I was super proud that people are now going to Grand Gila less than 4 to 5 hours, spending less than 3 to 4,000 Liberian Liberty dollars when we were spending 12 to 15,000. Who does not want good for their country? It's not that we all come here, people say we're sucking up to this country, we're sucking up to the president. Listen, Joseph Nimo Boakai is a man that I embody and I love and I care for. And when I sit with him and I speak to him and I see his vision for this country, a man who, Glenn, is something, I think it was me and Jackie then when I was in Atlanta. I had ordered some walking shoes for Joseph Nimo Boakai. I was in New Jersey, but I had to catch the flight to go to Atlanta. Just a short story. And then when I ordered the shoes, it was a Nike. They walked me Nike, something like that. And the shoes was $250. But the day I was leaving, it was going to arrive in New Jersey the next day. So I called Nike and asked them to send it to the mall in Atlanta, Georgia. And when I got to Atlanta, Georgia, the shoes were there. I went and picked up the shoe, but not knowing to put the price on the box. And I took those shoes and I carried to him. And he and T-Ball were in the room, Terrence, and I was trying to put the shoes on his foot. Then he looked at it, but he said, I took the sneaker phone. Then he asked me, he said, how much you pay for the shoe? And I said, nothing about Daddy. Then he looked at it, he saw $250. He said, you couldn't take the money yet. You go buy chairs for the Liberian people, the small children to sit on. You can't buy me shoe. You couldn't go right out to Walmart. That's the kind of paper we're talking about. The people who don't want Gucci. The people who don't want to go sit to Jamaica, who they drink Hennessy. You don't drink it. The people who don't want to do bolonku, you don't do it in get girlfriend. You not in girlfriend business. People who every morning when you wake up, you be coming out of the house, your wife can hold your hand and pray on it. That Uncle saying the age group there, Joseph Boakai, they all age mate. Uncle saying say he don't want no old people in the government.
Don't lie on me. That man,
and you say,
don't lie on me.
But what a different now. But you said that you don't want no old man in the government. So Uncle saying as somebody who almost in the same framework with Joseph Boakai, because Joseph Boakai 79 and you 70, that you're around that thing there. For you, they want to sit it out. Y'all will sit down, y'all will see the old man. He will bring his vision for our country through the eyes of really young people. And you say, so no old people will be there. He will give you August surprise. He will even give you September surprise. All the old people will sit down. General Yoyo will continue to push him so he can do the work of the Liberian people. Liberian people, you shouldn't be fooled. The last 6 years, it was about people who did not ever want to go back to poverty. It was about them enriching themselves. It was not about Liberian people who will go bury their mind and put a satellite dish and put internet. Only somebody who does not love the country. Why you can get the internet to the children classroom, the children. Then when they're ready to call for riot, they want for us young boys and girls. When all that children in foreign country, you will never see that children in no riot. You see what people stupid will continue to educate the mindset of our people. Uncle Sam, all of y'all can say here and talk about our people will never listen to you. They will sit and see the old statesmen. We built our country. Joseph Nimo Boakai will build a country to the point that all the Uncle Sam were in government with our power. He and my power minister to commerce. The thing that you never did, Joseph Boakai will do it for you. I'm telling you, the thing that you, my daddy, all of you never did. Joseph Boakai will do it and you will sit down.
Joseph Boakai was there too. All
right, let her finish so we can move on to Jackie. We gotta close.
Uncle Sam, wait now. You and my pa, you and my daddy, may his soul rest in peace. The thing that you never did. Joseph Boakai will do that. Joseph Boakai today giving you a Liberia where you go and have birthday party for all of us to come storm. You announcing it on Facebook. If he didn't provide the security, he didn't provide a country where there is now electricity. Now you're not talking about the LEC business. Little by little, our country will rise again, but it will not rise again with people mocking and people trying to, destroy with their mouth. And that will work. We'll sit here, we'll educate our people, they will make informed decisions. Nobody again, our people will go vote for $10. It will not happen. We will make sure that anybody who not go for Liberia, that me and my uncle saying, will sit on the sideline and watch our country develop. by the grace of God. So, thank you. I just wanted to come and speak that Liberians are not stupid. Our people are not foolish. And I'm sick and tired of you calling Liberian people stupid. The most stupid people on the earth, Liberian people. The most stupid. I had to address your post today on Facebook. Uncle said, none of us stupid. We want a better Liberia because we all want to go back home.
How come we give all the wealth to foreigners if we're not stupid?
But we'll make it better now. Now what we here for now? We all be on the stand.
All the iron to the foreigners.
Uncle says Jackie's time to close.
Jackie close.
It's Jackie time to close.
I have to go. It's late at night. I love you guys. I must leave.
No, Sam, you can't go. You gotta stay. What's going to be done? We remain on for the next 10, 15 minutes.
That's why you always
15 minutes will not kill you. You can stay on.
I'm entitled to do that.
I feel for you.
Okay, so I'm asking you to remain on. Can you remain on?
Uncle saying you're disrupting the show. You're supposed to
Sam,
other people close.
Sam Jackson, can you remain on for the next 15 minutes?
You remain on. I just fly he on.
So you're begging me to stay. Y'all begging.
Yeah, we're begging you to stay.
I am begging you. I got no shame to my game. I can beg.
Jackie, please.
I got to tell you, know we love your business.
I know you do.
Yeah. But by the way, I come into that party.
My wife is waiting for me,
And for your wife know your deeds on the show, so you
they
stay
will
on.
strangulate themselves.
Which way?
Strangle.
People know me.
Anyway,
go ahead. We are closing.
okay, so basically you wanted us to talk about health and then to the closing. Look, health is everybody's business. It's a serious, there is no sugarcoating it. It's a serious problem in Liberia. The new Minister of Health has a huge challenge in restoring health, the health sector, to what it was prior to 6 years ago, and then taking off from there to build on what was there in 2017. So there's no doubt she has a huge challenge in front of her. Having said that, of course, she has completed or in the process of doing her tour, her county tour. I think she just started recently, going from county to county to assess the different health sectors, talk to the healthcare workers, because the healthcare workers are the most important part of the health sector. So she's going to work on meeting the needs of the health sector, medical supplies and drugs, equipment that need to be put into those different health facilities. The issue with fuel, electricity is also a problem because a lot of the health sectors do not have consistent electricity. The issue with water, running water. You have the dialysis center. You have a lot of the reproductive health, women's health, for which the First Lady is also a champion. And by the way, the kudos to our First Lady. She is doing extremely well, working on implementing the vision of the President's Arrest Agenda. She's the champion of women's reproductive health. She's also the champion of the mental health program in Liberia, for which we know the Carter Center plays a very, very pivotal role in that process. And when she was here in Georgia, the Carter Center invited her and also gave her some recognition for her role in mental health in Liberia. So health is everybody's business. The Minister of Health is serious about revamping the health sector. We know under the last 6 years, the health sector went downhill, but she's there now. So we're going to see some improvements in the health sector over time. We already see those improvements. The issue with drugs that are coming into the country that need to be controlled. So the various sector, the drug supplies, the hospital health facilities being other drugs, these are things that the minister is looking into to fix it. I'm not a spokesperson for her, but these are things that I see, that I've seen in the media, for which she has spoken about, even with the partners, the usage partners and other partners who help to bring in drugs and other medical supplies into the country. And of course, like I just stated, dealing with the situation with the healthcare workers, making sure they have the tools, the necessary tools and supplies for them to be able to do their work, dealing with infant mortality, which went way up through the roof under the last 6 years, and also maternal mortality that also went way up through the roof. So those are critical parts of the health sector that are being dealt with by with the new Minister of Health, Dr. Louis Poto. Now, overall, in regards to Liberia, Glendy, panelists, Liberians, Sam Jackson said we're trying to sugarcoat things. No, we understood the reality during the campaign, and we still do. We understand the Liberian people plight. We understand the concerns, the safety issues, the issues when it comes to the bread, butter issues. The president understands that. The president and his vice president, they understand that. And that's why they came in from day one with the arrest agenda, unlike the last government who had to take about 10 months to figure out what to put together under the PAPT for the Liberian people. The president understands the problem with the youth. He met with the youth over the weekend on Saturday. A small sample of the youth from all over that brought together recommendations, concerns, told the president that addressed the youth overall throughout the entire country. The president listened to them. We asked for 6 months. I don't even think he met with the youth like that. So there are things, and in fact, even spending, Fatima just talked about the president when it comes to just spending, lavish spending. He's not about that. He wants to make sure that the country's resources are being spent properly and for the right reason on behalf of the Liberian people. So he doesn't take that lightly. Even from the inaugural time, he wanted his inaugural budget to be small, to be lean, because we need to spend the Liberian people money on what they really, really need to fix the health sector, to fix education, agriculture, the roads, so, and also to focus on health on the different entities that will also bring in income into the country so that we can further expand the economy and help to create jobs for the Liberian people. When it comes to governance, you have to take 1 or 2, 3 things and focus on it at a time, because you cannot fix everything at once. The president has laid the basis for his arrest agenda, his first 6 months, and he's going to kick them off. Like I said earlier, he's just scratching the surface. He hasn't even dug deep into his agenda, into what he needs to do to really implement things on behalf of the Liberian people, because it takes time. The budget was just passed recently. His first 4 months, he couldn't really spend like that because the budget was not passed. But we are going to see the Joseph Nima Boga, who people say were asleep. He's not asleep. That man is so energetic. He's a funny guy. He's a family guy. He's a comedian. He also writes poetry and what have you. On the personal note and both on the professional note, he is ready. He was ready for day one. He's well qualified to lead the Liberian people for the next 6 years. We also need the Liberian people, their patience. We also need them to do their part. Hold the government accountable. And that's why one of the difference with this government, under We Are government, they were going after people who were speaking out. Under this government, Joe Boyka is listening. Even if he cannot meet your needs today, people are not threatened today just because they're expressing themselves. Under We Are government, there was that fear to express oneself. One of the main differences now between this government and that government, a lot of the fear has gone away. Confidence is being restored, both on the international part and on the domestic front. And as issues are come about, we see that the president is addressing those issues. He doesn't shy away from it. He listens. quietly. He listens to the people over and over again, and he tries to find solution to the people's problems. So to the Liberian people, we thank you for bringing this government into power, for removing the failed 6 years of George Weah government. And this president, President Boyka, will continue to listen to you. He will continue to meet with you on the Liberian businesses. He has spoken, I've heard him personally talk about promoting Liberian-owned businesses, making sure that we transform the economy where more Liberians will participate in the economy. The issue of education, the civil servants, which were a major part of why the Weah government was changed. We see the civil servant board.
She's closing. She's closing. She will soon be done.
10 minutes.
Go ahead, Jackie.
Oh, I'm almost done, Sam. Don't interrupt me. Another reason why the government was replaced was the issue with the civil servants. We see Josiah Juggen, who is the civil servants boss, who is working diligently and very, very hard to ensure that the civil servants get what they deserve. And over time, we're going to see these big changes because we already started to see them. Our agriculture, we saw that agriculture was launched, the program, the National Agricultural Development Program was launched recently. So we are on to big and better things. The president is also asking for audits, and audits are being done as well. I want to thank everyone today for watching this program. I'm glad to be here today on this show. I haven't been here in a long time, but it was a good program, and we look forward to more exciting news about coming out of the office of the president on behalf and for the Liberian people.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll be quick because Jackie took, I was just enjoying it, giving Uncle Sam pressure. Uncle Sam, you keep mentioning, before I get to the health.
By the way, I'm gonna put my pressure in the chat room just now, okay? Before jogging and after jogging. I'll put it in the chat room.
You keep talking about this asset recovery. I have to say it is dead. It is ongoing. It just speaks to the hypocrisy. Once all the facts are there and the arrests are about to be made, you guys will be the same people crying, oh yeah, the witch hunting people, they're doing this thing. So we're going to proceed quietly. It is not dead. It is still ongoing. You make it sound like nothing is going on that front. At least this government have mustered the courage to go after people that looked at the country for the last 6 years. But just to add two other things that the president have done on the healthcare stuff, the distribution of medication to the 13, the drug depot in the 13 counties, 100%. Is it perfect? No. Do we still have challenges? Yes. 177-year-old problem cannot be solved in 6 months. But at least we are making progress. One of the fundamental things that the president did when it comes to healthcare that I think is very important is the identification of four sites for the building of regional diagnostic center. We need diagnostics. We can't keep going to Ghana for diagnostics, and dialysis and all the different things. The president, by the end of this term, this 6-year term, we should have Liberian-owned diagnostic center in the area, not only concentrated in Monrovia, but every part of the country. The sites have already been there. So just in 6 months, you can look at the roadmap to where we are going. One of the directors just said, one of the fundamental things that I think this administration have done, freedom of movement. When I came here last year, by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, everybody was running to go home. People were afraid that you stay on the street by 10 o'clock, you will end up dead. Now people are out in Monrovia. Look at the street lights from here all the way past something. People are up 24/7. In the night, people are up. You apply the street all night. People are up. Yes, so community people go to bed early as usual, but people are up. Unlike the last time, people were going to bed 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Everybody running to go home. Now our people are up. Friday and Sunday are the most Popular time in Monrovia, Friday and Sunday. I don't know why they left on Saturday. But people are of the whole city, all around the country. People are going to the Eco Lodge in Nimba. They are going to the summit. Tourism is moving slowly but surely. It shows that we are on a right trajectory. I don't want to waste it because Jackie nailed everything, and we have to go. I just want to say that it was a great program. Thanks to the Liberian people for giving your time into your homes and into your hearts. We come here not because we want to misinform the people like Uncle Sam. We want to tell the Liberian people the state of the nation. That Liberia, for too long, people have looted this country. This elderly statement, I call him the legacy president, is trying to leave a legacy. You know, the difference between this president and the past president, my fellow panelists have said, he's not flamboyant. The last president was called Sunshine, and we all know what that code name means, Sunshine. Hey, you know, this president is not looking for the Sunshine. He's not flamboyant. He's not extravagant. The worst thing you want in your leader is an extravagant and flamboyant leader. It's a very expensive habit that we cannot afford. There's a man that is very modest, living in the same house for X amount of years. He's not trying to amass wealth. He's not trying to pay off his concubines here and there. That's the leadership we need. And I can tell you, by the end of this 6 years, he may not solve all the problems, but Liberia will be on the right trajectory. Thank you, Uncle Sam.
Thank you, everybody. Nelson, you want to come on? Just want to thank you all for watching. To all the viewers and everybody else, we'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same place. What I said earlier, I want to emphasize, we want to be able to see a better Liberia. The change that we want from Liberia starts from us. We cannot continue to blame the government for what they're not doing, because government starts from the people. And if we, the people, if we're not accountable to ourselves to do the right things, we're going to take that inaccountability to the government. We understand that there will be people who will be pessimistic, but we don't want everything surrounding this new government to be so pessimistic that people will not see the good that they do. It's been 6 months. They've had some shortcomings. They've had some good and bad days. We will be critical of the government. We will be objectively critical, because a better government is a better Liberia for all of us. So I want to thank all of you for watching. Uncle Sam, you can go now to your wife.
Glenny, can I just add this quick line? Sure. We also need to make the Liberian people aware of the state of affairs when this government came into power. There was nothing, absolutely nothing left in the coffers. All government entities and agencies were broken, completely broken. This government is literally starting from scratch. So we need to join hands and forces together to move our country forward.
Yeah. So thank you guys. In the end, the Liberia we want, the Liberia we envisage, is a better Liberia where we all can be able to move forward as people and as a country.
Why
you think everybody? Thank you, Nelson. We'll see you tomorrow. But you having party? Let us go to your house.
The Liberian people experienced the best Christmas in 7 years because a new government was being ushered in. I was there. I saw that. And the people understand. The people understand that, hey, one more minute. The people understand that you can't fix everything overnight. They understand that, and they know, they see the change, and they know much bigger change is coming under the leadership of Joseph Newman Boyka.
And everybody who wants 26, go to Uncle Sam party.
We're coming to the party the weekend. We're coming there, and bringing the Liberian people with me.
I see you guys, man. Good night.
See you, Nelson.
Bye. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, Nelson. We love you.
Bye, Liberian people.
I love you.
Certainly. Yeah, thank you. thanks a lot. Thanks a whole lot. We Miss Jackie, thank you so much. We
Thank you,
appreciate
Nelson. Bye.
you for being here tonight. Yeah. And to everyone, to our audience, we appreciate all of you for joining us here tonight. It's been another great edition of the program. Spoon Talk here tonight on Spoon 107.5 FM, Fabric 101.1, and a host of other radio stations across Liberia. I want to say thanks to all of you for being here tonight. And of course, our folks in Radio Land, on the different frequencies across the country that are relaying the program. As always, we appreciate you. Thanks to our folks from Facebook, Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV. And also our YouTube audience, Spoon Talk Live. We appreciate every single person for being here tonight. Our active viewers, our viewers who are actively engaging in the comment section. We want to appreciate every one of you tonight. I see Salome Nimlan, Lorena Gator, Tonin Magabush. I see Wickley Chili. I see Madam Ruth Goba, Telvin P, Morris Koyan, Charles Masale. Hey, I see all of you here. Thanks for joining us. Madam Lofty Spiff, thanks for being here tonight. Mr. Jackson, Emmanuel Jackson, we appreciate you. Lofty Bondo, our own sister, thanks for being here tonight. Francis Vakabida Manju Toure, we appreciate you for being here tonight. Zias Carter, Avami Duner, and everyone joining us tonight. Thanks for always being here. Moses Momolu, Lai Kanen, Alfred Tube, and everyone tonight, man, we appreciate you. Coming up next is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon will be up next, and you can make up time to join us. I want to welcome all of you to join us tonight on the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. My name is Nelson Collier, and this is how I would like to say bye-bye for now. Thanks for being here with us. We're going to bring you this one right after here. Next will be the our sign-off tune, the signature tune for the close of the program.
Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Facebook, Instagram, the entire land of social media. The Boca Washington Institute BWI Reunion USA, students of 1987 straight up to 1990, present to you and yours. Reunion 2024, right in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. The focus point of this reunion is revisioning and youth empowerment. A unique guest speaker like Faith Akovi Cooper will give you an in-depth on revisioning and youth empowerment. It's a weekend-long activities beginning with Acquaintance Night on Friday, August 2nd. Time is 7 p.m. Address is 206 Martin Lane in Norwood, Pennsylvania. Saturday, August 3rd, starts with a business meeting at 8 a.m. Address is 100 Sharon Avenue in Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania. Then later on during the evening hours of Saturday, 7 p.m. straight up to 2 a.m. is the Grand Reunion Ball. Address is 100 Sharon Avenue in Sharon Hill, PA. Admission is $25 US for individuals. A couple is just $45 US. Patron is only $100 US. Come and support the association's effort to install electronic billboard on campus and provide scholarship to deserving students. On Sunday, August 4th, is the Farewell Cookout. Address is 206 Martin Lane in Norwood, Pennsylvania. Come and experience Philly's top-rated DJ like DJ Sparkplug all weekend long. For more information Hey, visit www.bwistudents87-90.org. And I'm yours truly, G. Francis Togba, pleading with you, come one, come all, to celebrate BWI students as they give back to their alma mater in Liberia.
Tunto Spoon. You wanna get a news update? Tunto Spoon. What? Yeah. Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba.